Oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Hey, Aggie fans, head coach Tim Plow here. Join us in Shredville November 16th for our final home game of the season as we take on the Montana State Bobcats, 5 p.m. This is your chance to send off the seniors in style that have given all for the football team. Football in the fall is what it's all about. So bring your friends and family out to UC Davis Health Stadium and let's get the stands rocking for an important game. Get your tickets today at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Aggies.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
And with the Kings getting ready to take on the Phoenix Suns tonight, we're hoping, Drapes, for a lot of energy and excitement. But I got to tell you, right now, it's very dreary outside. It's gray, and in here, it's very dark. Right. And foreboding. But I'm sure that has nothing to do with the amount of energy we're going to have in the building tonight.
Are they running behind schedule here or something? Like, it seems like I don't remember it this dark in here at this time.
I know.
Yeah, it's we need some energy in this building. Of course, we're going to bring our energy.
Absolutely. Next
3.5 hours.
Yes. Yeah. 3.5 hours. That sounds like you're counting
right?
the minutes.
I'm like, dude, I just got to get to like 5 o'clock, and then that last half hour, High Flyer just talks, for 30 minutes usually. So then I'm done.
Yeah. I know somebody just came along. I didn't see who it was, but they were talking to you, and you're like, hey, how you doing? The guy said, I got something I got to bring you. And you're like, I'm here for the next 3.5
hours. It's like, damn. If it wasn't a game day, I might not be here. Right? I'm just saying, it's gloomy outside. This is one of those days I just want to curl up, watch a little movie, had a fireplace going. It's tough. Like, and the thing about it, too, is it seems like the weather is getting worse as the day goes on. I didn't feel this way at 9, 10, 11 o'clock.
A little sunny coming in.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, it's like rain is coming down. Ominous clouds are rolling in.
So
hopefully that's not a sign.
The sun went away, right? So that's a good sign. The Suns are going away tonight. The Kings are going to eclipse them and cloud them over. Yeah.
I like how you're thinking. Mr. Positive over here.
Sure.
I like that.
Sure.
So rain is a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Here's another positive note. You know what the number one story for the Kings is right now, to the point where we don't even want to talk about it anymore, right? They've had difficulties making certain types of shots. We all know about that, right? Yeah. Right? So I actually heard somebody a day or two ago talking about the Kings in terms of, are they the worst three-point shooting team ever? They're not. And it's not even close. A team that I know you will remember well, the 1982-83 Lakers.
Yes.
That actually lost to the Sixers, and I think you were very upset by that, right?
Yes, I was, because I was a Lakers fan,
The three-point shot was not as big a part of offenses as it is now. The 1982-83 Lakers, who ended up going to the finals, and they lost.
Yes.
They took 96 threes that year, and they made 10 for a 104.
Ooh, come on.
And according to my research, that is the worst. So
worst
the Kings
for a team
301, yeah, nowhere near that.
Right, so the Kings are in good shape. If the Lakers at 10% or whatever it is can do it, why can't us at close to 30? So all right. Mr. Positive again. See, I'm like, you're always looking on the good side, the bright side of things. I appreciate that.
So what are you thinking? At some point, maybe tonight, hopefully tonight, the ball just starts going in, right?
I don't know if we can deal with another 3 of 23 or 3 of 26. We need to start hitting some shots. This Phoenix team is banged up. Grayson Allen and Bradley Beal are both questionable, so they might not play.
Now, Beal actually, he tweaked his knee when they played the Kings, and I think he pulled his calf last night. And then he said it might have something to do with the knee. So anyway, all right. Yeah.
So they might be severely shorthanded. You're back here in front of your home fans. You're supposed to know these rims better than any rims in the association. And so I got to think tonight is the night, Whitey. I said it yesterday. What was my over-under? 16.5, I think it was.
Okay.
And those type of shots that we're talking about. And I took the over. I think it's going to be one of those days where, they get going from behind the arc.
Yeah, the last time they played, which, of course, was that spectacular overtime win on Sunday for the Kings were 11 for 37, which is not very good. But, for them, they've done worse this year. Phoenix in that game, Drapes, as I'm sure you'll recall, 18 for 57. So they weren't lacing them from three either.
Right. 57?
18 for 57.
They got a 57?
Yes, 31.6%.
Wow.
Okay. 10 attempts for Beal, 10 for Booker, 10 for Tyus Jones, 11 for Grayson Allen.
Okay. All right. And Grayson Allen struggled, outside of what? Booker and Beal? I think, they really didn't have anybody that, had it. And Beal, Booker shot poorly too. Let's not act like
Tyus Jones was
that was
star.
The guy. That was their guy. And so they're coming in on the second night of a back-to-back. Their legs should be weary a little bit. They probably got to the hotel around 2:33. We've been using that excuse for our team. Let's see if the Suns lay an egg out here tonight.
Now, is that the biggest question facing the Kings as they get ready for a 4-game homestand, 2 big games at the front? Is it the lack of 3-point production, or is it the bench without Malik? What do you think right now is just, and I'm not saying it's disaster or anything, but what's the biggest issue right now?
We know the obvious, the 3-point, but I would say it's probably the lack of bench scoring. I got the numbers right here. They're 29th in the league in bench scoring. Last year, they were 12th. They were 12th in the league in bench scoring. And we know the bench last year wasn't great, but it was infinitely better than what we're seeing so far this year.
Especially when the best guy off the bench is not available.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think getting some production off the bench. And the guy I'm looking to, Whitey, is obviously Trey Lyles. He's a key part of this team. But also, I would like Doug McDermott to get going. I need a 12 to 15 piece tonight from Dougie McDermott if he gets the minutes, because we know if he plays, he's going to get the shots up. 1 for 5, I think, over his last each of his last 2 games from 3 ball, 2 of 10. Like if he's like 5 of 10, 4 of 10, something like that, then you're doing something. And so I need a Dougie McDermott game tonight.
The Kings miss right now. And I'm not saying it was a mistake to get rid of him, because I know that they did what they did. They ended up with DeMar DeRozan, and that was a great acquisition. But I was just looking at some old box scores, which is,
your favorite pastime.
What they do last year when Malik was hurt, because he got hurt late in the year against Mavericks. And Davion Mitchell was a guy, right, that you could plug into whatever role you needed in the backcourt.
Right, exactly. And here's the thing, and I looked up those numbers. Davion actually was pretty solid last year. I mean, I know he wasn't what everybody had hoped for, but I thought, given his limited amount of playing time, he did a phenomenal job. And you're right. We kind of miss that now, especially Davion going into what would have been his 3rd year? 4th year. This would have been. And so I look at Davion as a guy that probably this season is just coming into his own. We've seen it in Toronto. He would be a good guy to have coming off the bench now.
Yeah, because he had a lot of versatility. He could play either position. He wasn't very big, as we know. He still isn't. But, he could shoot a little bit. He could defend. And so they're looking for not another Davion Mitchell, but somebody. Right now, you've got Dougie McDermott. He's a shooter, right? You got Keon Ellis. He's a defender.
Right.
And you don't have a lot of guys necessarily that give you a lot of different things coming off your bench.
Yeah, like what? One-trick ponies kind of?
I don't want to insult
anybody, but I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like
more one-dimensional.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, you're right about that. And, when I look at our bench, Jordan McLaughlin, he's shown some things.
Yes.
Last game out, he showed me something in that first half. And so I would like to see, with Malik out, who you're going to turn to, Mike. Are you shortening the rotation, or are you going to give somebody, a McDermott or a Jordan, a chance to show us what they can do? And so I would love to see us go 10 deep. And when I say 10 deep, I'm talking 10 players tonight playing more than 10 minutes, like in double figures in minutes, not, somebody playing 4 minutes, somebody playing 6 minutes. That you can't do anything in that shorter span. So I want to see if we can go deep in the bench tonight.
Here's what Mike Brown said about that situation after the last game, the loss in San Antonio, as reported by the B. And I think we had the audio, or you may have heard it. He said, we're definitely going to have to collectively step up. There's not one guy that can do it. So we're going to play our guy. So clearly, will it work? We don't know, but clearly that's the plan going forward.
Yes, exactly. And like Mike just said, you can't replace Malik Monk with one person.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like Malik is almost like a Swiss Army knife. We know he brings the energy. We know he can score. We know he's your emotional leader. We know he's a facilitator. We don't have that replacement just with one guy. And so I think, going forward, let's get a little bit of Trey Lyles. Let's get a little bit of McDermott, a little bit of Keon, a little bit of Jordan, a little bit of Alex Len. And collectively, the Kings can figure it out without Malik.
Consistent and better play from Trey Lyles goes a long ways towards filling that void. And I'm with you. Maybe it's just because, we like him because we met him and met his wife and everything. But I think Jordan McLaughlin is a guy that could be key to getting him through this rough patch if he can find a stroke a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And, I look at Jordan McLaughlin, and we saw it a little bit last game out against the Spurs. He's kind of feisty defensively. We know he can knock down the shot. We talked to him 47% a season ago. But he's a guy that he can't come in for 2 minutes and then you got to let a guy get up and down a little bit. Let him break a sweat.
Let Jordan cook.
Yeah, let Jordan cook. Chef Jordan, I'm going to start calling. Hey, if he balls out, that's going to be his nickname. Chef Jordan. Forget about Chef Curry. Chef Jordan. No, but let the guy cook out there tonight. I'm with you on that, man. And so hopefully we'll go a little deeper into the rotation tonight.
Coming up, the part of the show that I know Drapes has been looking forward to all day.
Yeah.
We get to talk about Steph Curry. You mentioned Chef Curry and that big win last night, that big emotional win for the Warriors, and how Steph almost went night-night a little early.
Yeah.
Coming up from the Golden One Center, Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Every club on the shelves can be tried for free on the driving range. 3 TrackMan units and a Hagen Oaks team of skilled fitting professionals provide the finest club fitting experience. Our personable Super Shop staff will show you the newest to help you look and play your best. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Golden One Center is humming to life now. Lights are on. You got activity as we gear up for the Kings and the Suns. Sun to be clouded over tonight, eclipsed just like the sun outside by these rain clouds, huh?
Yes, I like that. I didn't think about that, but You're right. We're extinguishing the sun, right?
Right.
Getting rid of the sun.
Yeah, it's going to be raining threes tonight. I have to give my wife Sheena credit. She had the assist last night because we had the Warriors game on.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was doing something in the back of the house with the dog, and I'm just doing stuff. And she comes always, "You're missing a great game." So in the fourth quarter. So and it was a tremendous.
It is all right.
What was
it was
I know it didn't turn out the way you wanted, but it was quite a battle. Obviously a very emotional night.
Yeah, and some big shots were made. Klay Thompson, delivered the goods. I think he had 22, I think, last night. And of course, Steph Curry is one of the all-time greatest. You can't give that guy an inch of daylight, and that's what happened. But it was an entertaining game. I found myself pulling for the Mavericks, believe it or not.
Sure.
Yeah, as surprising as that may sound.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yeah. Right? Oh, come on. No, I'm not that crazy, am I? I'm not that crazy.
Well, how about so I'm sure you would love to see him pull out the night, right?
Yeah. A little premature night, a little premature.
It's like 26 seconds. And he hits the three to put him up 118, 114 at the night.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Grimes comes back and
hits that. Yeah.
And then it's like a 1 point game, Steph.
It's like right there, 1 point game. And so, what you think about that final Luka possession? It's like, dude, stop trying to be the hero. Why are you trying to, hit a home run? And like he's pulling up from 28, 29, dribbling out the clock, 1-on-1. No movement at all. You had time. And so it was just ugly, man. It was like.
Are you going to be okay? It sounds like it's really bothering.
No, not really. It's just. No, because it was a tremendous game. It was, like you said, back and forth, big shots. Then it comes down to the final possession. And that's what the Dallas Mavericks come up with.
Just think how easy it is to defend. Where the guy's standing 25 feet from the basket and just dribbling out the clock. No pressure defense whatsoever. And he's going to cast three. Right?
That's what the defense wants.
Yes.
That's exactly what the defense wants. And so Luka played. How about this? I think Dallas is 5-6. Minnesota. They had a bad loss last night. What are they, 6-5 as well?
Did you see what the Time Lord did last night in that game?
I didn't even know he was back. Are they showcasing him or something like that? Because if he's healthy, they got Klingon. They got DeAndre Ayton. Yep. And you got Time Lord. Somebody got to go.
Yep.
Yeah, Whitey's like, I'm raising his hand over there. Like, pick me. We're ready for it. Like
John Collins also played pretty well. You and Jay's guy.
Jay is all in on John Collins there. Jay threw it in our little text chain, and I'm like, I didn't see what he did last night. Then I went to the box score. I actually did that. And I'm like, oh, man, that would look good in the Kings uniform. John Collins, that's my guy.
Yeah, Time Lord's probably not as pricey.
Right.
More of a health issue.
Right.
Anyway,
no, but Time Lord too, I think checks a few more boxes if he's playing like we saw last night. How about defensively? Just being able to contest shots and block shots with his size and length, and then offensively that vertical spacing, that we really don't have. Like he would be a nice little pick.
Yeah, I think he made 9 of 10 shots. We have like 8 or 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals, and 3 assists in 20-something minutes.
Yes,
as I recall.
Yes,
sign me up.
Where did he get all those minutes from? This is crazy.
He's a Time Lord, man. He can create.
Right,
minutes.
He can create minutes. Right, exactly. And that was a nice little win for them yesterday. And I know they shot the heck out of the ball from 3-point range, and it's like, damn, even Portland can knock down threes. What about us? Let's get our opportunity.
Yeah, you mentioned Jay, a big John Collins guy. Jay, I wanted to make sure you're doing okay. I'm glad you're back today. Want to make sure you're doing all right, and wanted to see what you thought of John Collins.
You said you want to hear me say, "Wow, what, Whitey?"
Your boy John Collins, bro.
John Collins, want to make sure you're doing all right. We know we missed you yesterday.
Yeah,
you had something with your finger that had to be done.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to know how you're feeling and what you thought of John Collins' big night.
I heard you. Actually, I just wanted you to repeat that because you haven't been in the John Collins corner like me and Drapes have. I will say this: Drapes has won me over when it comes to John Collins, and I go back to the first game that the Kings played the Jazz, or the only game.
Yeah.
John Collins looked super athletic. It looks like he's healthy. It looks like old John Collins of Atlanta Hawks days. And the other part is the last couple times I've seen John Collins in Utah, I felt like he wasn't confident. I don't know if he hit the juice this pass, and not that juice, but maybe he had the juice from, like Michael Jordan and the Toons had that type of juice, the placebo effect. But I don't want to say that juice because there's baseball fans around here. But I just think he looks better in some form or fashion. And when I say that, I mean mentally as well. I think he looks confident. Dude, he's putting up 30. You said, Whitey, he's coming off the bench. And he's not starting. Well, he got his first start and he put up 30. That's pretty much better than all the starters minus 1 or 2 on the Kings so far.
Yeah, I actually think I got Drapes yesterday to admit that it might cost too much to get him right now. Right, Drapes?
Wait, Drapes, come on, man.
No, hold on, JJ. You got to understand my position, big fella. You got to understand. Like, I leave all those kind of talks to Monty West and those guys. Like, I'm talking about John Collins, the player, is exactly what we need. How we get him, that's above my pay grade.
You don't want to be talking about, get rid of this guy or that guy.
Yeah, I'm not. That's all I'm saying, Jay.
Yeah.
John Collins checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah. But you would have to give up a lot to get him just to make the salaries match.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What's a lot?
Give up some core pieces.
Trey Lyles plus
I'll let
what?
You guys,
Kevin Huerter or something?
Have that discussion.
It would probably be something like, and I
think that's what you threw out yesterday.
Yeah, on the trade machine, Huerter and Trey Lyles for John Collins actually works. So you have to give up a couple players to get him. Because he's making a lot of money, and that's good for him. But to match the salaries anyway. So
but again,
obviously a lot of teams are keeping an eye on him.
Isn't that? It depends on when you get him to. Like if you get him now, a little different. But if you don't get him, a little different.
Yeah, but think about this too, fellas. John Collins is only 27 years old. This dude is in his prime.
How old is Time
now.
Lord?
Well, his body is about 60. Time Lord's probably about 26. I'd say. I can look that up real quick here because he's been around forever. It seems like, but he's just hasn't been healthy at all. And that's he's 27.
Yeah.
I mean, hold up here. Hold up for a second.
Class.
Yeah. They're separated by like 3 weeks.
Wow.
3-4 weeks.
But isn't one of the things we talk about, maybe not us, but a lot of people, they talk about the Kings and their need for what? Rim protection. He give you some of that.
But Whitey, my thing is we can't say no to Zach LaVine because of injuries and then be like, yeah, Time Lord's our answer. This guy plays less than anybody in the league. I mean, I'm looking at his games played right here. I got him. This year, 3. Last year, 6. Year before that, 35. Year before that, 61, 52, 29, 30.
Yeah, he was good last night. You're right. You're absolutely right. But he was good last night.
He's played, hold up here. Let me do the math here. 215 games. I'd have to pull out the calculator.
Yeah.
Prior to this season, out of probably 400 games. Like he's missed the equivalent of 3 seasons almost, Whitey.
Well, one thing he did, he's a gamer, and you're right. I mean,
he's a gamer.
He is. He played with bad knee through the finals against the Warriors when he probably shouldn't even have been playing.
Yeah,
might have hurt himself further.
Yeah.
Slater's going to join us today, Anthony Slater. We'll find out if there's anything going on trade-wise with the Kings or the Bucks or anybody. I wanted to see what you guys thought, getting back to Steph, of what he said when he makes the dagger, he gives a night, and then he screams and he's right by a camera, "You better stay here." And people were wondering, is that what he said? And he was asked,
did he say that?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
All right. What did he say?
He said, I was just crazy. He didn't quite own up to why he said it, or if it was the claim. Like, that was all emotion. But how about that?
I saw that.
Stay here.
And I was like, nah, that can't be true. He didn't really say that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let me hear it, Jay. I got to hear that sound.
There are a lot of amateur lip readers online trying to dissect what you were saying into the camera at the end after the night. What were you saying?
I really have no idea. I got to go look at it myself. That type of moment with all the angst, and those raw emotion, I really don't know what I said. I'll let you know, though. I don't shy away from what I said on the court. I have to go look at it again.
Yeah, okay. So he didn't quite own up to it, but he did. It's pretty clear that's what he said.
Yeah. And he got caught up in the heat of the battle, right? It's, but remember yesterday we were talking, and I'm like, something just seems off there with the whole Clay and the relationship there. And maybe, and Steph wouldn't say this probably, maybe he does feel a little betrayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you left us, especially to go to a rival, a Western Conference contender, somebody, we're trying to beat. And so, yeah, he stuck it to him. And did you see Steph when Clay was, doing the thing shimmy on his arm? He did the shimmy, and then he did, basically mocking Steph, and Steph's on the bench just shaking his head. And so for Steph to have the last laugh, I know it felt good.
It's so funny if you look at the whole arc of it, where 2014, 15, when they won that championship, the first one, and people looked at him and said, "Those guys they're so nice." They're so cute. They need Draymond because he gives them an edge. Then you fast forward to last night. You better stay here.
Stay here. You could have stayed here. Could have stayed. What did you think of the entire arena wearing the Thurston Howe III hats, the captain hats?
I get it. I guess
how did it look though?
Silly.
Yeah.
Then Shaq had one on too.
Oh, did he? I didn't watch. Oh, shit.
And I think they all did. They were all wearing them.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. See, if I were Clay, what would bother me is that the organization is like trying to tell the fans, we love him. We didn't, it's like a whole PR thing.
Yeah.
Look, we love Clay. And Clay's sitting there going, you can wear these hats and everything, and you can play the tribute on the video board. Well, why wouldn't you give them the money I wanted to pay?
Right. Yeah. How do you show your love? Pay me. Give me what, exactly. So Clay, and then Draymond afterwards talking, have you guys ever tried to get a hold of Clay? And, it just seems like Clay is like in his own world. He's not trying to relive and rehash old friendships and things like that. He did holler at everybody after the game, but it seems like that dude's moved on.
And I think maybe the bigger story than all of that is the fact that the Warriors won again.
Yes. How about that? Are they good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
but like I said,
OKC and at Boston, and
they're a good regular season team. I'm not, it just pains me to watch them play well.
I know. I understand.
It really does. But they're playing extremely well right now.
What hurts you more, when the Warriors play well or when the 49ers are playing well?
49ers.
Yeah.
Because there's more of them. I got to hear from you. I got to hear from Jay. I got to hear from people on the YouTube, the text line, social media. Like the Niners, that's the team here. Warriors, they're,
they're one of.
Yeah, one of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely Niners.
Well, we'll take that up with Rod Brooks, 49er.
Oh, we got Rod coming.
And post-game analyst when he joins us next year. It's Drive Guys coming to you from the Golden One on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For this Wednesday, keep the jacket and the umbrella out. Expecting a steady line of rain to move across the valley floor, tapering off to occasional showers until sunset. Highs today will peak in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Tom's Watch Bar, your ultimate sports watching destination for all Kings games, hosted live by Sacktown Sports. With 360-degree viewing, surround sound, premium food and drink, and game day vibes that match being at the game, Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for all Sacramento Kings fans.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Shop Big O Tires now through December 8th and buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, National, or Sumitomo brand tires. Visit Big O Tires for your total auto care services. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not valid with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it.
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Coming to you from, of course, the Golden One Center, where the Kings try to get their house in order tonight against the Suns. And speaking of getting their houses in order, how about the 49ers? They certainly did that against Tampa Bay, didn't they, Drapes?
Did they really?
Everything's
Now,
they are set up.
It's all nice right now,
Yeah.
right? Okay. See?
I knew you wouldn't agree, but I
Right.
wasn't sure about NBC Sports Bay Area 49er host and analyst Rod Brooks. You don't agree with that notion, Rod?
That's that silly hate. That's all that is. Number
Nah, man. Hey, man. What you trying to get fitted for a ring or something? Come on now. Not after what we saw the other day against Tampa. That's a far cry from a Super Bowl team right now.
No, hey, listen, you're not lying about that. I mean, if we don't keep it real, we're going to keep it right. No, the Niners are not a Super Bowl team right now, but what they are is a team that good offensively, although they got to be better in the red zone, and I'm sure we'll talk about that. But I think they're projecting that way because they got McCaffrey, and George Kittle has been really their savior in the red zone for the past month to 5 weeks. But offensively, they're good. Defensively, for me, few too many lapses when it comes to stopping the run. But they're good up front. They get pressure. They make plays when they need to. Fred Warner is one of the best linebackers in the business, and I'm a big fan of their young secondary. The problem with the Niners right now is how much is their special teams going to be a problem for them? I don't know if they're good enough to overcome a championship or plan for winning a championship standpoint. Are they good enough to overcome, at best, unreliable special teams? You know what I'm saying? Put the Jake Moody thing aside for a second, if you can, because he missed 3 field goals. They've been horrible all year long when it comes to kick coverage, when it comes to punt coverage. They've given up a kick return for a touchdown, punt return setting up game-winning touchdowns. I think that happened in the Arizona game. They got 2 kickers hurt, before they even had to go back to Moody. That puts a lot of stress on a defense that is good, but how many times can you keep having your special teams mess it up for you? And then it comes to a head with Jake Moody, who hasn't been bad. Over the last couple of years, he's only missed a couple of field goals. He missed 2 field goals in his last 15 games, going 23 of 35. But you're only as good as your last game. He missed 3 kicks, and it wasn't even close. So they got to fix that special teams and a couple other things before you start talking about them winning a championship for sure.
Yeah, it's funny because we all do it in, sports talk. We all exaggerate. This team is terrible. This team is trash. That play was terrible.
Yeah.
But when we say the 49ers special teams have been dreadful, it's actually spot on.
Every game is something, right?
Understatement. But Rod, I want to ask, let's get into this, and then either we move on from it or we dive into it further, get it out of the way one way or the other. The Debo Pepper dust up, the sign that this team is cracking under the weight of all this pressure.
No, not at all. I mean, it wasn't a good look from my standpoint for Debo to put his hands on Pepper. You could say what you want to say. Debo could say lock in. Pepper can say get away from my kicker. All that's good. That's just competition. Again, just my point of view. Putting your hands on another man at work, I'm just not down with it. But to answer your question, it's as dead as Napoleon. All right, it's just that's football. That's competition. That's the heat of battle. The 3 participants, particularly Debo and Pepper, they got together. They talked about it. They squashed it. Kyle Shanahan handled it from the jump. And even he said, he felt like he really needed to talk to those guys when he saw the physical altercation. But no egos bruised. Everybody's on the same page, so that's over and done with. The biggest issue for them is, the next game they got coming up against Seattle. But what we just talked about a little while ago, they got to fix their special teams in all 3 areas of special teams. But that testosterone presentation, that's over and that's done with.
Hey, Rod, how much criticism should Kyle Shanahan get? One of the topics we've been throwing around, and Jay, our great producer, brought up, there's no variety in terms of schemes, hurry up offense,
not aggressive enough.
Yeah, no hurry. And then what? Tom Brady, called it predictable. If you send 2 or 3 on one side, like Brock Purdy can't, call out the protections. Like how much blame is Shanahan on just not letting the reins go and letting these guys do what they do?
Well, but that's not who he is. That's not his offense. His offense is we're gonna run the ball. And I don't give, as Kyle Shanahan here, I don't give quarterbacks the ability to change protections because I want them to concentrate on playing quarterback. He'll call 2 plays in a huddle. They'll either roll with it or they'll kill it and go to the next one. But and again, this is the Shanahan family offense. This is not Kyle Shanahan saying, this is the way I'm doing it. This is the way this offense has been going since his old man passed it down to him back in the day. The center, he's the one that calls the protections. So we can not like it or not, but the center is the one that's got to get it right. You dig what I'm saying? So when it comes to criticism for Kyle Shanahan, he should be criticized because they haven't won a Super Bowl. That doesn't make him a bad coach. That doesn't mean he should be fired by any stretch of the imagination, in my estimation. But until they win the Super Bowl, he's always going to come under some criticism because this team has been so good over the last few years. I will say, though, when it comes to being innovative or whatever, I don't think there's anybody that's as innovative as Kyle Shanahan when it comes to how he's using Christian McCaffrey, how he used Deebo Samuel back when Deebo was really, that wide back, that threat, how he uses George Kittle, and how he is using Juwan Jennings, who is now their number one, their ex-receiver. So I don't have a problem with his scheme. I think Kyle can be stubborn. He can be hard-headed at times, but I think that's a trait that a lot of good coaches have. They believe in their stuff, they believe in their system, and they believe it should be run a certain way. I think we can go down the list of halfway decent coaches and great coaches and see that they're all that way. But until they win, he's going to be under criticism and scrutiny. But that's just the way it is, man. That's just part of the deal of being a head coach.
Yeah. Yep, Rod Brooks with us, NBC Sports Bay Area 49er
I will
host
say one
and,
thing, though.
and analyst.
It popped into my head.
Yes.
I love Debo, but throwing him back there and handing the ball off to him, I think that's run his course. You dig what I'm saying? That's the one thing where I look at that and I go, we really still doing this? However, though, against the Seattle Seahawks, he over the last couple of years has completely and totally eaten those guys up. And I would expect for that to happen this upcoming Sunday.
Rod, the thing that was most unsettling to me about the game, and I know they won, and I know, Moody missed 3 field goals, but most unsettling to me was that, and you've alluded to it today, we know the 49ers, when push comes to shove, getting down to basics, they run the ball, they stop the run. They really were not able to run the ball. Is that just because CMC's, he's still running into shape? Is just Tampa Bay defending him well? Should I be alarmed that Brock Purdy had to throw for as many yards as he had to throw for them to win?
No, I don't think you should be alarmed. I'm not telling you how you should go about feeling things, but I think you should feel pretty good the fact that the Niners couldn't run the ball and Brock Purdy was able to throw for over 300 yards and look good doing it. Throw for over 300 yards without Brandon Ayuk. That Tampa front, and I believe we talked about it last week, that's a good Tampa front. It's hard to run against. That's what they hang their hat on. But that Tampa secondary and their passing defense, I remember telling you guys last week, they're ranked 30th in the league. So that's what you're supposed to do, right? If you're not able to get what you want to get on the ground, then you need to be able to attack them through the air. And there have been previous Niner teams, quarterback by guys who I will not mention because I'm not trying to throw shade on them, but you know who they are, that when the running game was taken away, they couldn't throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you have a cat in Brock Purdy who can hit a team for 353 yards and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, to me, that's where you go, all right, that's a part of his maturation process. And the Niners are a team that if special teams doesn't hurt them, they can win any type of game that's able to be played. Do you have to run the ball? They can run it. All right, Christian McCaffrey had a pedestrian day on the ground, but that's not going to be that way going forward. That's the first game he played all year long. And if you're Tampa, you do everything possible to make sure that Christian McCaffrey does not hurt you on the ground. Those guys are on scholarship too. So Tampa did their job. The Niners countered Brock Purdy, and that passing offense did their job.
Rod Brooks joining us. Rod, you brought up CMC, and I know you talked about the red zone earlier. Were you surprised that CMC didn't have much a more impactful outing in the red zone area, or is it just going to take some time to get up to speed on that?
I think it's going to take some time, and I was surprised. Maybe I was just more hopeful than anything else. I thought those red zone packages were going to put Tampa in the blender. It didn't happen, and I don't think though that it's necessarily reflection. He tries to say on McCaffrey and him being back early. I think that was Tampa doing their job, but also the Niners, they couldn't run the ball again on first down in the red zone, and that's something that Kyle Shanahan talked about when the Niners were really having their red zone problems a few weeks ago, that they can't run the ball efficiently in the red zone. It makes everything else all blocky and wonky. But again, and this is where you look at the Niners and go, they're not a Super Bowl winning team yet. They don't look that way yet, but they can counter, and they have other ways and other guys they can go to if a certain part of the game or a certain guy is not getting the job done. If Christian McCaffrey is not there to help you in the red zone and you're not running the ball well, then just throw the ball up to George Kittle and let him tiptoe in the corner of the end zone. And here's the funny thing about that Kittle catch. Even his best catch. Forget about the one on the left side where he tipped it to himself and he caught it for a key first down. This dude, man, he is an inline run blocking tight end, and he has been the Niners' most consistent receiver over the course of this season. And like I said, he has absolutely bailed them out in the red zone over the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's 100% goofball and 100% football player.
Hey, yes. Hey, man, Rod, before we let you go, do you think Drapes Eagles are in any kind of trouble on tomorrow night?
No. See, here's why they're not in trouble. Well, you know what? Actually, I take that back. Maybe they are in trouble because they're finally going to play a team with the pulse, right?
Yes. Yes.
Come on.
It's not 11. It's not 11 garbage cans out there lined up against them.
You know what? I mean, the Niners in the NFC West, they got to see the Seahawks again. Everybody in the NFC West, man, they swinging and banging. But then you get to the NFC East, and you got 2 pushovers in Dallas and in the New York Giants. So the fact
that the NFC West is slanging and banging or whatever it was. Come on.
So now that Drapes' Eagles going to finally see a team with a pulse. Yeah, man, I'm interested to see what the Commanders going to do. I'm interested to see if Nick Sirianni go get in the way and just say, no, you know what, I don't want these points. I'm interested to see if Jaden Daniels going to get at that Philly secondary that the Niners got at last year. Yeah, I'm interested.
all I know is, Rod, hey, phone lines are always open on this show, so you're more than welcome to call in on Friday, big fella. 916-339-1140. Give us a holler.
Thanks, Rod.
I got stuff to do on Friday. I can't do it, dog, but I'll talk to you next week.
Of course.
We'll be watching. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, fellas. Y'all be good, as always.
All right,
Thank you.
All right,
yeah, when we come back, Kyle Draper will be happy to know that for the 49ers, the Yak is back.
Ooh.
And I got to tell you, I got some numbers. I found some numbers on your team that I think you're really going to like.
I test, big fella, but I'll welcome the numbers also.
Yeah, all right.
I'll
We've
welcome
got
the all
those
numbers
when we come right back to the Golden One Center on Sacktown Sports.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's Old One Report.
When it's cold and rainy outside, Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a full furnace tune-up, just $59. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
With the cooler seasons upon us, Advanced Infusion Center remains focused on your health and comfort. Whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or in need of IV therapy, we provide tailored treatments to meet your unique needs. Our caring team is here to make sure your experience is safe, comfortable, and stress-free. With convenient locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling, you can easily access the care you deserve. Explore Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit advancedinfusion.com for compassionate care right where you need it.
Oh, hey, just a real live talking buck here. Hitting the road to tell people about the Big O Save a Buck sales event. Ha they get it. Honk if you love saving bucks. Because right now you can buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, National, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. Let's go. Yeah, let's go to the Save a Buck sales event now at Big O Tires. Woo! The team you trust.
Offer valid now through December 8th. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
And tomorrow night, Trapes. Eagles taking on Washington, and he's so concerned about it. I don't even think he's going to be with us tomorrow, right?
I need to lock in. I need to watch that game. I need to lock in. Can't be working. So I am nervous. These are two heavyweights going at it. I have tremendous respect for Washington and what they're doing this season. This is for the division right here. Whoever wins this will win the division, in my opinion.
What was that you just made Jay play?
I did not make Jay play Taylor Swift. Jay is turning him into a Swiftie, and he chose that one himself. You know, a little look what you made me do.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, that's a lie. But that you know, as I said, because one of our guys, Kyle Draper, has laid down a little cabbage, a little fetty to go see Taylor Swift coming up next month. I always said for whatever he spent, we're going to make sure that we entice him to have a good time. So Taylor Swift is going to be played because he's already dedicated himself, him and his daughter. So we're gonna support him.
A little cabbage is a whole cabbage.
Yeah, dude. Hey, less than a month away, fellas.
It's a whole produce section.
I know, right? I could buy a
organic price
for sure.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Less than a month away to the big trip. Great White North up there in Vancouver, Canada to see Tay-Tay in action. So
is that towards the end of her tour?
It's the last stop.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that should be a special night.
Special night, man. Yeah. Hopefully she goes out with a bang while we're there. Yeah.
So what's your fit looking like? Do you got your fit?
No, you know what, Jay? It's something I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of like some sort of coordinating outfits between me and my daughter. Like, like do we go, bling bling, bedazzled out? Or, I'm not sure yet. I actually was going to literally Google what do people wear to Taylor Swift concerts? Why do you come on, bruh? Why are you dissing father-daughter time, big fella? I'm trying to bond with my 12-year-old.
The idea, I know, but you can bond with your 12-year-old without being, one of the sheep. Like, what's everyone wearing to the show?
No, I'm extra, bro. That's the baseline. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're wearing that. I'm going to go above and beyond and wear this.
You've told us many times. You don't.
I don't follow the trends. I don't follow the trends.
Yeah,
but unless it comes, dude. I'm spending thousands to go to Taylor Swift. That's a trend. Like when it comes to my daughter, yeah, I kind of do.
Mm-hmm. So you were asking this week about the 49ers and where's the yak? And
oh, yeah,
good question. But the yak is back, Jack. Or at least it was this week. Let's see. According to The Athletic, the 49ers had a season high in yak yards after catch, 175, while racking up 210 passing yards between the numbers, third best this season. So having CMC back appeared to help. And as we know, and as we just discussed with Rod Brooks, 49ers did not have a lot of success running the ball. So obviously they gained more yards than they typically would in the air. But the yak is back.
Yes. And that's a big part of what they do, right? That's why they were so successful last season. And so, I'm interested to see how it goes this week against Seattle. But, we talk about separation with the wide receivers and things like that. CMC's back. Really what made the Niners so special is the first guy could not bring him down. How many times did we see Debo? You have to get dragged down by 2 or 3 guys. Same thing with Christian McCaffrey. He runs so hard. And so I felt like that was missing the first 8 games of the season.
You're right. By the way, I don't know if you had a chance to hear this, Jay, because I know you had stuff going on with the doctor and everything. But we talked yesterday about some interesting things that Tom Brady said about the 49er offense during the game. And he said, when it's third and long, 3rd and 9, he said teams are blitzing, they're sending extra guys because they know Purdy can't change the protection and he has to throw the hot route. So they're giving him that underneath. And then that's why the 49ers so often are coming up short on 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, because Tom Brady said teams have figured it out. So I know that's something we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Rod Brooks was kind of like, no, he's a great coach, which he is. But that was really interesting that Tom Brady went there. And I was thinking of you when I read about that.
Yeah, I think he said it was like, especially when they're in nickel coverage too, right? Like you put him in nickel coverage and he it almost forces Shanahan to do something and go to the hot route wide receiver.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's just another beat on why I believe some people, and sometimes I get frustrated with Kyle Shanahan's offense. And I think there's a difference. And it was funny, fellas, I was sitting there listening to you guys talk to Rod, RB, and it's a difference between the scheme and the actual execution, I guess. And what I'm saying I guess part of my problem with Shanahan is not so much the scheme. I just feel like he doesn't give people the opportunity. He doesn't put people in the best place to execute what they can do. And I know that has some part of scheme, but I do think there's also a little difference in the fact of you have to set your guy up to be the best that he possibly can be. And I don't think he does that all the time.
Big win for him, but they should have probably won by more. All right, here you go, Drapes.
Oh, yeah.
This is for
numbers.
you. This is from Ross Tucker. Okay.
That's our guy. Friend of the show.
He shares these numbers. Eagles opponent, Browns. Eagle yards, 372. Opponent yards, 244. At Giants, Eagle yards, 339. Opponent yards, 119. At Bengals, Eagles yards, 397. Opponent yards, 280. Against the Jags, Eagle yards 447, Jags 215, and at Dallas, Eagle yards 348, opponent yards 146. So during the last 5 games here, total yards, Eagles 1,903, opponent yards 1,004. That's domination.
It really is, and I think the league should be on notice. They should be afraid. Jalen Hurts looks like Jalen Hurts from a couple of years ago. He's looking good again. He's doing what it takes to move the ball. This offense is playing at an elite level right now. And then the defense, sure, it's not, where I want it to be, but it's much improved from where it was a season ago, the back half of the season. And so I understand the schedule's been what it is, a little bit soft. You're beating up on some cupcakes. I get it.
Yeah,
but this team needs that.
If the 49ers had done this, you'd be going, oh, come on. It's like they're playing middle school teams.
But you can only play who's on the schedule, Whitey. I can't go out there and have them play the Chiefs every week, the Ravens, but they do have the Ravens coming up. I think this next stretch of games for the Eagles will tell us a lot. But they seem to have, righted the ship, though. Can we say that? Because,
they sure do.
They should have really only have one loss right now. We should be talking about them in the same category as Detroit, as Baltimore, as the Chiefs.
Whoa.
What?
Same category as the Chiefs and the Lions?
I'm just saying, dude, if not for Saquon Stonehands Barkley, we would have had another win. That's all I'm saying.
They're playing well.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a good test for them tomorrow night, as it is for the Kings tonight against the Suns. When we come back, Mike Brown's plan for muddling through without Malik with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Total Wine and More. Find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup and delivery available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
So how are the Kings going to get through this period without Malik? Mike Brown has a plan. I don't know about you, Drapes. I think it's a plan that a lot of fans are not going to appreciate. We'll tell you about it in just a moment here. We're coming to you, of course, from the Golden One Center. And we have some interesting comments in the chateau on Taylor Swift. Amadrock from Vallejo.
Really? What's he saying?
I admit I'm a Swiftie. After going to her Eras tour at Levi's, it was infectious. But I will say I like K-pop over Taylor Swift.
Ah, okay. All right. So I love the fact that Amadrock is admitting he went to the Eras tour at Levi's and it was infectious.
Yes.
Now, mind you, Amadrock.
So is COVID, by the way.
And, I know, but mind you, Tortured Poets Society had not dropped yet. Her new album.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's got more hits now.
Oh, okay.
You know, her catalog is deeper. So this will be the full Taylor Swift
What's
experience.
the best song on Dead Poet Society or whatever it is?
No, it's not dead. Tortured. I like Fortnite. I like Florida. That's a good one. You know, those are a couple good
ones. Can I follow that question real quick before you go to the chateau? Yeah. Give me what happens when Taylor Swift breaks into one of her country songs there, Drapes?
No, some of her old stuff?
Yeah.
No, but she's only doing the popular stuff.
Okay.
Like, you know.
So she's not doing none of that stuff that you weren't a Swiftie yet?
No, I like some of the country. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. That was a good one way back. 22. She's going to she's doing the hits, big fella. She's doing the hits.
The country songs were not as popular as Dead Poet Society?
No, there are a couple of them. But now it's just anything she puts out is a hit, big fella. Yes.
We also have from Dennis Youngblood, I don't have a problem with Swiftie. It's just all her songs are so sad and depressing.
It's all about your mindset. You know, as a near 50-year-old man, I'm trying to feel all of the emotions, Whitey. I can't always all the time listen to the poppy, uplifting songs. Sometimes you got to feel what you're going through, and Taylor Swift is good for that. Some of it's inspiring, too.
Yeah.
You know, Shake It Off isn't sad and depressing. Look What You Made Me Do isn't sad and depressing.
Enough for yourself, right?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
Yeah. There you go.
Man, you got to choose some different songs. Dennis Youngblood.
Are we going to be inspired by how Mike Brown and the Kings are able to handle this 2-week at least period without Malik Monk? What do you think?
I don't know. Are we? Do you
It's gonna
think
be
so?
tough.
It's going to be like I'm looking and I'm trying to see. I think Mike is searching, but I don't know if we have the answer yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
See, now I don't know. Is that a Taylor Swift song or something?
No.
I don't know.
That could be a lyric, right? That's a bar right there. That could be, but no, that's a Drake bar right there. I made that one up. But no, Whitey, I don't know if there is an answer. It's one of those just try to get bys because there's no cure or no magic fix. And when you look at our bench, the reason why bench guys are who they are, unless you're a 6 man of the year candidate or something like that, you're going to be inconsistent. You know, some nights you're not going to have it going. And I think here over these next 2 weeks or so, you just got to do whatever you can to get by. Hope that when you press the Doug McDermott button, it works that game. When you press Jordan McLaughlin, that was a great move. He's ready. It works that game.
Mm-hmm. By the way, speaking of music, are they actually practicing a dance to Billy Joel's Piano Man? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, look at that.
That's interesting. All right.
And we talking about Taylor Swift. Now, this ain't inspiring. This ain't going to get you fired up for a Kings game.
I'm with you. I'm a little surprised there. Here's what Mike Brown had to say. Again, this was after the game against the Spurs. We're going to keep playing our guys. Jordan's going to get an opportunity. Doug's going to get an opportunity. Trey is going to get an opportunity. We may have to try to get Lynn out there.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound so excited about this. It's next man up, and wherever we feel the matchups are or the flow of the game is, we'll play the next body. Okay? And the reason I say I don't think Kings fans are going to like it, because I think that means the patterns are going to vary depending on time and score and the matchups. And so I think I would anticipate we're going to hear from fans going, well, how come whoever fill in the blank played, this many minutes in the last game, but he didn't bring him in. This. And I think that's going to be his plan here going forward.
It sounds like he's going to throw, a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
Yes.
You know, and it's not how you want to go. But remember, our bench in Sacramento is unproven right now. Think about it like this. This is the 3rd year Mike Brown has been head coach, Whitey. Our bench has changed every single year.
Yes.
We haven't had any stability outside of Malik and Trey Lyles, really, over the last 3 years. And you could throw Alex Len into that. But in terms of...
But you're right, because there was, especially the like to be here, he hardly played at all.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
He hardly played at all. You had TD, Terrence Davis. You had Chimezi Metu. And then last year, Kessler Edwards, Chris Duarte, Sasha. It's been 3 straight years. And I guess, if you're a Kings fan, I can sense the frustration. It's been an issue, especially the last 2 years. But it's something you got to address. I look at championship level teams. For the most part, they've figured it out. This is Celtics. Sam Hauser been there for a minute. Luke Cornett been there for a minute. I would like us to find some success from our bench players, and let's ride with them for a couple of years. Get them under contract so that every year we're not turning over on the bench as much as we are.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that last year when the Kings were in a similar predicament, they relied on Davion Mitchell, and Davion Mitchell gave him some good minutes. He's gone now, so maybe some of that he supplied when Malik Monk was out, maybe McLaughlin can bring some of that.
Right. Yeah, and that's the hope, right? And we saw a little speck of it first half against San Antonio. Here's the thing we know about Jordan McLaughlin. He's a veteran. I think he's a heady, steady player. I don't think he's going to, make too many mistakes that's going to cost you. And let's keep it real. He hasn't even really been given the opportunity to show everything he can do. And so I want to see that. That's why I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want Mike to ride with 10 guys night in and night out. These are our 10. Not one day you're playing 8 minutes. The next is DMP CD. I need to see our guys get some minutes, get used to the system, offense, not look over their shoulder and see what happens then.
By the way, I just want to acknowledge this in case someone was able to hear while Drapes was talking. They have a tribute prepared for Brian Wheeler tonight.
Oh, is that what I was wondering? I didn't see. Yeah.
It's I got a little emotional there, but anyway, so we got that coming up tonight in memory of Brian Wheeler with some of his greatest calls. Anyway, Drapes, I think what we get back to anytime we talk about the Kings bench is Trey Lyles, and I know I've been saying it. They need him to play better.
Yes, they need him to, and he hit a couple of threes the other night. Maybe it's starting to what
was he, 8 and 4 or something like that?
Yeah, 8 points, 4 rebounds,
which is a start.
It's a start for him.
You're contributing.
Knocked down 2 3-pointers. Trey Lyles did, and so I'm with you, man. I think Trey is a big part. If we're looking at our bench next to Malik, Trey is the guy we count on for offense. Like, we need his scoring, and so no, I'm with you on that. And maybe today's the day. I just feel like what we're seeing at times with some of the Kings is they struggle a little bit, and then it becomes mental. It becomes, you can see them thinking out there instead of just playing free. And I know the coaching staff is trying to stress, let it fly, just play free, don't worry about it. But it's hard to do. When you miss 5, 6, 7 in a row, and let's be real, you hear the crowd moaning and groaning sometimes too. Like, the crowd, they get so excited, wide open shot. And and I think that takes a toll on the guys a little bit.
Yeah, you shoot a 3 and miss it, and that crowd sounds like the gallery at the Masters when somebody flips out a birdie putt. Oh,
right, exactly. Yeah.
The other side of it is this. Mike Brown said this, and we talked about this as well. Quote, there's not one guy who can do it. It's going to be tough also if Kevin and Keegan have a combined 7 points. So it's a collective effort from the guys coming off the bench. But yes, it puts a little more stress on the starters. But when you have 2 of your 5 starters that just are no-shows on any given night, good luck.
Yeah, Keegan, a season low 5 points. Also a season low 2 rebounds, I think it was. It was just a bad night, an off night for Keegan. And so hopefully he bounces back. He's been really good in a lot of areas for the Kings, obviously defensively. Rebounding, he's been excellent. Just need that shot to fall. And so, like you said, and like Mike said, when 2 of your starters, go 3 of 14, I think it was the other night. Yeah, it's going to be hard to win. They only had 3 guys really hitting it offensively out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got a bunch of Kings announcers talking here.
About Al McCoy on this.
Oh, yeah. Also lost the great Al McCoy.
Al McCoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we come back, as the Kings get ready to settle in for a big 4-game homestand, what is the biggest question they have to answer on this homestand? That's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The quest for ring number 6 happens here on Sacktown Sports 1140. Listen on Sacktown Sports for all the 49ers action.
Jennings went up and took it away. What a catch by JJ. He scored 3 touchdowns today.
Quest for 6 lives here on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
What's the biggest question the Kings have facing them? What's the biggest question they have to answer on this homestand? It's a Drive Guys. Get ready for the Kings and the Suns. Ryan Williams-Art steps right into the breach, Drapes. He says the biggest question the Kings have to answer on this homestand, who's going to break the ice and start dropping threes? Three balls are infectious. And we also have Farmer Bleezy 22 saying, we haven't had a secondary scorer off the bench since TD. I would have liked to have seen him return to Sac last year. I know a lot of people have said that. A lot of people that know a lot about basketball. I will also say this, though. I don't think anybody picked him up, right? I think he went to Portland and ended up going to the G League.
Yeah, going to the G League. And, he was in Milwaukee Bucks camp this year, and they cut him as well. And so I'm not sure what's going on with TD, but I thought he was great, for us. And here's the thing about TD. And, this is what you want from bench players. They may not deliver every game, but on certain nights when you need an infusion of scoring, TD could give it to you. That Brooklyn game, he, 30 points. Like, he's the guy, break glass in case of emergency kind of guy. When the offense isn't flowing, when Malik Monk goes down, who do we turn as that next man up? Right now, there's no answer to that as that next man up for the Kings.
Just looking at what's available, I mean, could Dougie McBuckets be a guy like that? In theory, a guy who comes in and just knocks down a couple threes?
That's what I think. That's what I'm hoping. And I need to see more of Dougie McBuckets. But even he's looking like he's rushing in his head a little bit. And so, but we got to remember, we just signed this guy 2 weeks ago. It's not like he had a full camp, but
the 3-point line's still 23-9 away.
I know, Whitey, but
no matter what court you're playing on.
But it's like moving to a new house, big fella. It's still got bedrooms and living rooms and kitchen, but it's a different feel. It's still got the oven, the stove, the microwave. But when you get out of bed in the morning, you turn right instead of going left where the bathroom is. It takes some time to get familiar with it.
Yeah.
You like that analogy?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It was okay, right? It was okay.
Jay may have heard this story. I don't know if this actually happened or if it's a kind of a parable, but some pitchers he's throwing ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4, and manager comes out like, what's going on? And the pitcher says, I can't find home plate, and the manager says, it's
right there. It's been there
for 150 years.
Some days you just don't have it, right? Some days you can't find the plate, and Doug McDermott finds himself struggling a little bit with the shot right now. But as who was it? Ryan Williams-Art said, all it takes is one guy to get really going, 4 or 5. And you know who that guy usually is? It's usually Malik Monk. That's the thing, too. Like Malik, when he gets on a tear, he can get you 4 or 5 threes in a row, get you 18 to 20 points. Who's that guy for us now? I'm looking at Doug McDermott as that guy off the bench.
Yeah. Vampire 387 says, what about our starting guard being more productive instead of just relying on bench points? I don't know. It's a Vampire thing.
Oh, is that what that?
Probably.
Oh, is that sound like Count Dracula a little bit? There.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, I see what you're
exactly.
I see. But come on now. I hear you, Vampire. For the most part, Kev's been pretty solid this season. And we can't just start, the point guard needs this, the shooting guards need. The entire team is struggling right now from shooting the ball. It's not just one position. It's just not the bench. Everybody outside of DeMar, who's at 40%, is struggling shooting the ball right now. And so it's a collective, man. We can't just point at one thing with this team or one position or one person as the issue right now.
That's why I go back to something you said late last week, or maybe it was yesterday. If you back out a little bit of the focus on just the 3-point shooting, the offense, at times it's been really good. At other times it's been sporadic.
Yeah.
I tend to think that the poor 3-point shooting is a symptom of the fact that the offense is still not exactly where it needs to be. And it seems like the Kings are still kind of looking for, all right, what are we doing again? What kind of team are we offensively?
Right. Yeah, I think so. And that's what I see when I watch this team.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out who they are and who they want to be. And, the coaches are saying one thing, but it's hard to execute that when you're actually in game action. That's what I see them struggling with, is trying to execute what the coach wants. And so it's tough for them out there. Can I say something though, real quick, though, Whitey?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Because I'm getting a little upset right now.
Say it, brother.
I'm getting pissed off right now. Jay, I need my music right now, big fella. I need my music right now, because what's happening on the YouTube chat, the text line, in our world, in our country, on social media, and I pretty much rail about this once a week, and I gotta continue to do it. I'm looking at the YouTube chat right now. Bill and Amy, yeah, but Trey is embarrassing. I look at the last comment we had, Count Dracula. What about our starting scoring guard being more productive instead of just relying on bench points? This whole environment of this guy sucks, this guy is terrible, this guy is useless, this guy needs to be traded, this guy is horrible, this guy is terrible, needs to freaking stop. Because I'm not coming to your job at the local Shake Shack or wherever Trey Lyles ain't coming to your job. Why is it okay for randoms to tell people who are professionals, Trey Lyles, Kevin Huerter, Chris Duarte last year, why is it okay for them to say so-and-so sucks? He's better than most everybody in the world. They don't suck. That's like me coming to somebody's job who's an engineer and they aren't performing at the level you want and say, you know what, that person sucks. No, they don't suck. I don't understand why and I understand the sports fandom, White. Fans are going to fan. I get that. But can we have some class? Like, it bothers me to this day when people sit behind a keyboard or sit behind social media and say so-and-so sucks, but yet now when I offer them tickets to a game, yeah, please, I want to come see Trey Lyles. I want to come see Kevin Huerter. If you're not going to ride with the team, the players, the announcers, the coaches, we don't want you. That's how I feel. Don't be sometimey when we win. All of a sudden, it's I love Trey Lyles, but then when he goes 0 for 6, this guy sucks. Keep your damn opinion to yourself. It bothers me, man. What happened to being nice? What happened to only saying nice things? You know what I mean? If you don't have anything to say nice, why say it? Because it's being respectful, White.
Yes, but why should fans not share those opinions when you have people like, say, Stephen A? They're blasting players on TV. So why shouldn't a fan, who actually in many cases is paying for access, why shouldn't they share their opinion?
And it's not just the fans. I'm talking Stephen A. too. That's what I've been talking about with sports media. It's like it's not even about truth anymore. It's about who screams the loudest. Who can say the most outrageous things? Who has the most outrageous opinion? It's sickening at times. And I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for the athletes. Sports discussion used to be at a higher level. There was a case in point. There was a woman, she tweeted out something. I don't know if you saw this tweet. I think it was about Jared Goff. And it was about how Jared Goff is 0-10 when he throws 4+ interceptions.
Okay.
She just made it up.
I did see something about that.
And then Aaron Rodgers went and said the same thing on the Pat McAfee show.
I wasn't sure what the original one was.
Right. And I'm tired of sports media, whether it's the Stephen A's, whether it's radio talk, whether it's the fans. Like, we got to be better, man. And I just feel like, people are looking for attention so much that they're just trying to deliver the hottest take, the most outrageous thing just for some engagement, man. And it's sickening to me. So that's my take right there. Sometimes it just bothers me, man, because I'm here, you're here. We're really trying to have legitimate sports discussions. And I'm never going to say, oh, that dude sucks. He's terrible. Like, that's not, did he have an off night? Yes. Should he be better? Yes. But to actually say somebody is terrible So calling my guy Trey Lyles terrible. Trey Lyles is better than 99.99999% of basketball players in the world. Get off his back, man. And so it just bothers me, man. And I know it's the nature of sports talk radio. This is what I got to listen to. This is what we got to hear all the time. But sometimes I get tired of it. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, then take it somewhere else. Go on Twitter or X or wherever you want to be. Don't come in my face. Don't call up my show talking like that, because I'm trying to get the best out of these guys, trying to figure out what's happening with these guys. Not just, Whitey, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What does saying a player is terrible accomplish? What does that really in the whole scheme of life?
But yeah,
or embarrassing? What does that? That's not embarrassing. Trey Lyles ain't embarrassing. What's embarrassing is you got Joe Schmoes on their mom's couch acting like they know better than the actual players, that they know better than Mike Brown. These guys are professionals. They don't come to your job telling you how to make fries, telling you how to flip the burgers. So why are you going to do that to them? That's what I'm saying. Everybody's an expert. And these are people that have never done it in their lives.
Well, it's Drapes Takes, so I don't want to.
Yeah, no, I'm done. Yeah. Jay, give me my sponsor, big fella. Drapes Takes, sponsored by.
Why it pays to keep clean with Alsco uniforms.
Man, why you talking about them folks flipping them fries, man? Don't do that right now.
Nah, because
that's what I was going to say. That's a little insulting to. You're trying to insult the people who share their opinion.
I didn't insult them. That might be their job.
But you're kind of demeaning people who do that.
No, You're taking it that way. So if I would have said, I don't come to their office where their CEO's at and tell them, is that better? But it's just a job, Whitey. It's how you're receiving it, not how I'm saying it.
Well, but that has been for a long time a standard insult,
because they're insulting my guys. And you're right. When they go low, I should go high. I apologize for that. But it just frustrates me, man. I don't go to anybody's job, whether it's at Target, whether it's at Intel or wherever.
But that's sports.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's not sports. That's sports today, because everybody has a platform. We see it so much. This ain't barbershop talk. This ain't tell me all right. Let's say Trey Lyles, according to them, is embarrassing.
Let me do this.
You can rephrase it, Whitey, and say, man, Trey shouldn't be getting as many minutes as he should get. Mike should turn to so-and-so instead. Don't be attacking a guy personally like that.
We'll get back to the conversation, because there was an incident last night where someone very famous said something disparaging about a player who's very famous, and it's caused a little controversy.
Oh, really?
So we'll dive into that when we come back to the Go One Center on Sacktown Sports.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Tom's Watch Bar, your ultimate sports watching destination for all Kings games, hosted live by Sacktown Sports. With 360-degree viewing, surround sound, premium food and drink, and game day vibes that match being at the game, Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for all Sacramento Kings fans. At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Plati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Maida Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on every new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock after rebates. All of them.
Black Friday savings now at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 12/1/24.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SacktownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Coming to you, of course, from the Gold Bund Center, Kings and Suns tonight. Drapes feels, and correct me if I misspeak here, Drapes feels like there's too much criticism of athletes today.
No, too many personal attacks.
Too many
you can criticize a play without calling someone trash, garbage, embarrassing. You could say Trey hasn't been good, but to call somebody embarrassing or to say they're awful, that's to me is more personal. That's the issue. Like, you can have an opinion, you can criticize, but he's trash, he's garbage. What does that mean? Like, that's to me, that becomes personal.
Shaq had some things to say about Joel Embiid last night that raised some eyebrows. We'll get to that, but first we got some people that have been on hold, so let's talk to Mike, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, Mike, thanks for hanging. What's going on today?
Thank you, guys. Good afternoon. Great show. Hey, it shouldn't be Drapes Takes. It should be the Church of Drapes on there. I agree with you guys, though.
Thanks, mate.
I agree with you guys. Well, Dougie McBuckets needs some time. I think the guy will be a big spark off the bench because he's been shooting his whole life. He knows nothing else but shooting. And the other thing is with the rotations, I think Mike Brown kills a lot of those guys' confidence because he puts them in, takes them out, or he'll start them, and then they don't play the next game. Or they play 20 minutes, and then they don't play the next two games. It's like he's got to have some consistency and give these guys consistent minutes and consistent games. You can't sit them 2 games or 1 game and not play them. He's got to build these guys off the bench confidence because they're not starters. They're coming off the bench for a reason because they're not the tip of the iceberg, the top players on the team. But when they get in there, they're looking over their shoulder. Even though they're professional players, they're looking over their shoulder because they're constantly getting pulled or they're not playing the next game or two. He's been doing this since he came to SAC. He needs to be consistent, at least 5 or 6 games. Give him a shot. Give him, 15 to 20 minutes. And I think the bench would be a lot better off when we get a lot more production out of our bench.
Gotcha, Mike. Thank you for the call. And I know you're with Mike. I think most people are with Mike. I always lean, and I'm in the minority, I always lean towards the coach on this. If the guys play better, they'll play more. But I understand.
And
I understand.
We don't see what's happening in practice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but here's the thing. Mike has talked about not wanting to play the starters 38, 39, 40 minutes. And so it's the second straight year where it feels like we're searching. And I remember really even the first year Mike was here. Remember, it took him till like December to figure out the rotation too. Maybe that's what's happening now. But also, and you've mentioned this before, it's on the player too.
Exactly.
When you do get minutes, like you talked about last year with Keon Ellis, Remember early in the season, he was playing extremely well. Those Houston games.
Yeah.
And it was like,
he got
all right.
garbage time. The game was decided.
Yeah, but he
well.
showed him something.
Yeah.
And then eventually he got rewarded. And so I hear you on that. You know, I think it's a two-way street. The players got to do better when they are given minutes. And I do think the leash got to be a little bit longer on them.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. How about David? David, thank you for hanging on. What can we do for you?
Tell me how to spray bugs for a living, all right? Yeah. Hey, just real quick. Hey, real quick. So it's time to intimidate from the throne of Sacramento again, all right? Back in Arco, teams would be intimidated to come and shoot in our arena. Now they look way too comfortable and say, I can jack up as many shots as they want. And their percentage starts to go up. So I would like to see that we're more comfortable in our own skin, in our own town, to say that when the other team comes in, they're going to have a hard time. It's going to be a bad shooting night. That's already going to be on their heads.
All right. Thank you, David.
Yeah, and
I do that.
Right. But I think you do it defensively, man. I think, you know, you have a pride in protecting this house, right? You know, when they walk in, because here's the deal. And you know, this is something I've talked to, you know, some people in the organization about. You can tell when opposing teams come here, they have like a swagger, meaning when they do come here and have a swagger, they choose the other end of the basket. You know why they do that, Whitey? Not because the coach want to add a team in the set. It's to say, you know what? You too comfortable. We're going to change things up. You got to switch up your game plan. And so they come with a mindset like that. We've seen Houston do that with Ime Udoka. And so from a Kings standpoint, I want them to come out tonight against Phoenix and let them know it's not going to be sweet. You're going to have to earn it, whether it's picking up full court the first few possessions. I'm not saying play dirty or anything like that, but just make your presence felt that this ain't just going to be no ordinary regular season November game.
Yeah, I have to admit I'm at a loss on this because last year when teams played so well against the Kings and they'd come from behind, I assumed that a big part of it was because the Kings weren't very good defensively. And if you're behind a team that can't guard you, you know, deep down you always know we're going to have a chance to come back. Well, the Kings are much better defensively, but teams are still comfortable playing against them.
Right. I don't know why that is. And I think, you know, it goes back to what you brought up yesterday. I think it was, I think we allow them to be comfortable, meaning they're getting open looks from three. You know, it's like we're cutting down the paint so much. We're doing such a great job.
They're a smaller team.
But exactly, a smaller team. You got to do that. You don't have the rim protection. But then that's opening up threes. And it's like, oh, I see what they're doing. You know?
Yeah.
Let me drive. They're doing the spray threes against us. That's what's happening.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for the calls. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Okay. Last night, Joel Embiid came back and he wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Now, we were doing our show when that was on. I didn't see a lot of it, but I know that he didn't have a very good game in that first tournament game with the blue court. So Shaquille O'Neal on TNT inside the NBA, he had some less than charitable words for Joel Embiid. Here's Shaq on Joel Embiid.
It's a tough city to play, but this was the fear I had for Joel Embiid. You announced arrogantly, I'm not playing back-to-back, Johnny. I'm not injured, but I'm sore. I come in when I want to come back. Now, when you say things like that, you're supposed to come back with extra energy. 0 for 3, I'd have been 0 for 15. But you know what you ought to say? Hey, Shaq's not playing well, but he's playing aggressive. So the plan that they're having, it's not working. And not only that, I say this respectfully. Joel Embiid will never win a championship until he gets his mind and his attitude right.
Shaquille O'Neal, what do you think? I know some people say, wow, that's kind of a cheap shot at Joel Embiid. How do you know his mind is?
You know, but it's one thing, you know, to say that. It's another thing to say he's trash. And Shaq didn't say that.
Right.
I'm saying that's Shaq's opinion. From what he sees, he doesn't think. And look at the history of Joel Embiid, right? You know, he hasn't been in shape in terms of staying healthy. Every year he's done banged up with something. I will say this, though. Damn, Shaq, it's one game, bro. It's his first game back. Like, give him some time to get going. And so we all know Joel Embiid, you know, has had health issues, has struggled with that. And who knows, he might not win a championship. but that's okay. He's still going to be a Hall of Famer. And so I just, that's Shaq's opinion. He has the credentials, as a 4-time champion that he is, as a former MVP.
Pardon me, but does that sound a little to you like get off my lawn? That's not the way we did it in my day.
Nah, because I think he's basing it on Embiid's history.
Mm-hmm.
Like if, Embiid hasn't been healthy. You know what I mean? He hasn't at times been in shape. I just feel like what Shaq said is kind of a sweeping indictment.
Delivery.
Thank you, Selena. A sweeping indictment off of one game. Joel Embiid averaged 33, 34 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, he was MVP. Like, he has done some positive things. And so it was a little bit of an overreach, I guess, is what I would say about that.
I didn't agree with him saying that Joel Embiid arrogantly said, I'm not playing back-to-backs, honey. That was kind of demeaning. And I think that was based on what he thought was best and what the organization thought was best. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just him saying, they want me to do this. I'm not doing it, in my opinion. And then to say that he's not going to win a championship until he gets his mind right. He's not going to win a championship unless he gets his body right. He's not going to get his body right unless he takes care of it. And some of that may involve not playing every night. So
we don't know what the mind is.
That's an assumption that, his head's in a bad place.
We don't know.
How do you know that,
How do you
Jack?
know? No, you're right about that. And to your point, I think the Sixers are, like you said, are on board with this plan too.
Exactly.
Neither him or Paul George are playing tonight. Second night of a back-to-back. I think
they're Cleveland.
Cleveland. I think they're trying to think, all right, what's the best way to get this guy to the finish line so that he is healthy come playoff time when you don't have any back-to-backs and don't have to worry about it.
And if you don't win enough games in the regular season, he may have to play back-to-backs because otherwise you won't win enough games to get to the postseason when you want to have him healthy.
They're in a tough spot, man. They're scuffling right now. Maxey's still hurt. Paul George is on a minutes restriction. Embiid's on a minutes restriction. Meanwhile, they're racking up the losses.
Yeah.
Fortunately, in the East, they're not too outside of the top two teams.
Aren't there like two teams in the East with winning records?
Winning records. I think, going into last night, it was Boston and it was Cleveland. Everybody else was 500 or worse. So they're not, they still got time to make it up for it.
When we come back, we'll talk about the future Hall of Fame coach who is apologizing for what he called his horrendous gaffe. Next on Sacktown Sports.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named the top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue, Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Kyle Draper for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It's that time of year. You know what time of year it is. The Mercedes-Benz Vans year-end sales event is underway. Don't think twice, because it's the perfect opportunity to take your drive to the next level. They're perfect for any business needs. Mercedes-Benz Vans, they offer a wide range of commercial vehicles. Trust me on this. They got Sprinter vans. You could turn it into a worker cargo van, a worker passenger van, or how about just a plain old passenger van? I could do that also. They're fully customizable. And one of the things I love about their Sprinter vans, I'm a big guy. I can fit in them comfortably. So now is the time to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They can help you with all your van needs. Ask about customer cash and even special financing options. And business owners, now is the time to take advantage of those year-end tax breaks. So take the short drive down I-5 or go online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them your boy Drape sent you.
Hey, Aggie fans, head coach Tim Plow here. Join us in Shredville November 16th for our final home game of the season as we take on the Montana State Bobcats, 5 p.m. This is your chance to send off the seniors in style that have given all for the football team. Football in the fall is what it's all about. So bring your friends and family out to UC Davis Health Stadium and let's get the stands rocking for an important game. Get your tickets today at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Aggies.
Afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Anybody remember a couple of years ago, after the Light the Beam year, the Kings were knocked out of the playoffs? There was a controversy because it was the Ringer, ABC Athletic. They had their top 100 players list, and Kevin Herter was listed ahead of Tyler Hero. Just like,
I remember.
Apparently, Tyler Hero had a problem with that because he liked something on Twitter from someone who said it was wrong or something like that. Did you see what Tyler Hero did last night?
He went off.
He had 40.
What do you have? 9 threes, 10 threes, something like
that?
So
we need Kevin Herter to answer tonight.
Right.
Right? Yeah. We need a 40 burger from Kevin Herter.
Yeah, that would go a long way to helping the Kings like this beam tonight. No doubt about it.
Tyler Hero, and I know it's painfully early, but he's averaging 24.9 a game and 5.3 assists. His 3-point percentage is 47.9.
Jeez.
Let's go, Kevin Herter. You're better than that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's having a bounce back year. Remember, people were jumping off that bandwagon a couple of years ago. Yeah, I'm looking at the box score. He was 10 of 17 from 3 last night.
One reason people jumped off the bandwagon is because he got hurt a couple of years ago, and the Heat went to the finals without him, remember?
Yeah.
They lost to the Nuggets, but that was all without him.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's a fine player, but I'm with you, man. If Tyler Hero could do it, why not Kevin Herter tonight?
Yes.
Let's see if he get a bounce-back game. I'm with you on that.
But despite his heroics last night, despite the heroics from Hero, it was a tough loss for for the Heat, and Spo kind of blaming himself for that one.
Did you see that?
I just read about it. I didn't actually see it.
I saw it.
Did you?
I saw the video. I saw, give Detroit credit. They ran a hell of an out-of-bounds play, led to a dunk that tied the game up. And Spo, and we've seen him when things don't go his way or play, he calls timeout and just walks out to the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Well, he did that, but he didn't have any timeouts left, Whitey.
Right. And the game was tied with 1.8 seconds left.
And so Detroit went to the line, knocked down the free throw, and Miami wound up losing. But, man, you rarely see, especially a veteran, somebody as great as Spo, have that kind of mistake in that situation.
Yes, it was in overtime. He gets mad, calls a timeout. We don't have one, coach. They end up losing. Let's see, what was the final? Would have been 123, 122, whatever it was. Anyway, Coach Spo said, there's really no excuse for that. Here's what Eric Spoelstra had to say after that mistake last night.
And then I just made a serious mental error, there at the end. That's on my, that's on me. I feel horrible about it. there's really no excuse for that. I'm 17 years in. We had talked about it in the huddle. I knew that we didn't have anything. I just got emotional and reactive on that, and I just made a horrendous mistake there at the end. It's a shame, because we really fought back.
Wow, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, that's a tough one too, man, because we always say one play doesn't make a game, but nah, Spo, you lost your team the game. Like literally, the game was tied, and you made that error, and you lost the team the game. He has enough goodwill and championships, obviously, to get past it. But yeah, how do you sleep? That's a tough night to sleep.
How'd you like to be doing Miami Sports Talk today, taking calls on the Heat flagship?
Yeah. It's yeah, you're right. Hopefully, people down there know Spo is one of the best in the game, man. The fact that every year he has them in the mix for the playoffs, when at some years their talent isn't where other teams are, hell of a coach. He just made a mistake, man. He had a bad ending to that game.
I'm surprised things like that don't happen more often. And maybe they do and we never find out about it. But especially, football coaches who just don't sleep, right? They're working all the time. It's like, no, I don't have any time to sleep. And, the brain only can do so much for it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm sure he was up late at night, going over the film, kicking himself, everything like that. But, you said, with Sports Talk Radio, if he didn't have the resume that he had, it would be 20 times worse, probably. What if this was his second year or something like that? But because of Spo, it's like, all right, Spo, you messed up. We forgive you, kind of thing, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think of the coach the Kings are facing tonight? He got blamed for everything that went sideways in Milwaukee, when I don't think it was his fault. They were always hurt when they played the Heat, but now it looks like he's having a resurgence with the Phoenix Suns. Mike Budenholzer.
I think he's a hell of a coach.
I do too.
I like Budenholzer. He's from the Greg Popovich tree, a two-time coach of the year, won it with Atlanta and then won it with Milwaukee.
Won a championship.
Won a championship with the Bucks. I think he's a hell of a coach, man. And, it's one of the things I asked Katie during the pregame show last week on Sunday when we had the crossover is, are you seeing some things that Mike Budenholzer has instituted, a difference? And she said, yes. I can't recall exactly what she said, but there's no doubt he's made a difference with this Phoenix Suns team. Obviously, Tyus Jones, too, is a part of that, actually having a point guard this year. But no, I think he's done a phenomenal job with Phoenix so far.
Yeah, obviously the Kings without Malik, but the Suns are without Kevin Durant, so they're still figuring that out too.
Yeah, exactly. And, here's the thing, too, about Phoenix. It's when Kevin Durant goes out, now Devin Booker goes back to pre-Durant Booker. And so maybe a little bit of an easier transition for him. But it was a massive loss, for the Suns. We'll see what happens tonight because we had their number the other night, had the tip in from Keegan, able to get the W in OT. And so let's see what we do tonight. Grayson Allen, at last check, questionable. Also, Bradley Beal, questionable. Nurkic, though, should play. He's not on the injury report today.
It's time now to give you some credit.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Well, you know that quite often when the Kings lose a game that we all think they should win, fans get upset.
Yeah.
Of course they do. And fans were getting upset when they lost that overtime game in Toronto. And one of the things that you've been pointing out since last year, correctly, is that, you know what? It happens to every team, right? Haven't you said that?
Yes. Every team has some bad losses.
And, we don't want to make excuses for the Kings, but what you say is factually correct. Case in point, did you see what happened to the Celtics last night?
Yes.
See, Drape says it happens to everybody.
Right.
Well, it happened to somebody last night. Now, I don't know if Jay remembers, but when we had Jerry Reynolds on recently, and you weren't in that day, I was singing the praises of the Atlanta Hawks, be that as it may. But anyway, last night in Boston, Atlanta over Boston 117-116.
What? That can't happen, right?
Well, it can happen because Trae Young must have gone off, right?
No, he didn't play. Trae Young didn't
play.
Yes, I saw that. It's crazy, right? And it happens, Whitey. You're not going to go 82-0. You're not going to beat
I'm giving
every
you
team.
credit.
Thank you. You're not going to beat every team you're supposed to. And I'll take it a step farther, Whitey. How about this? We talked earlier about Minnesota. Let's look at the teams that made major, impactful changes. Not all of them are struggling. Golden State, they're finding a way. But I look at a team like Minnesota trying to institute Julius Randle.
They had an easy game last night.
Yeah, they should have won, right?
Yeah.
No, but they didn't. They lost to Portland, right?
What?
They lost. So they're 6-5 on the season. Dallas made some changes. They're 5-6 on the season. The Knicks brought in Karl Anthony Towns. They're 5-5. We see what's happening with the Sixers as well.
Yeah.
They're reeling right now. And so it takes time, man. I just feel like, DeMar's been fantastic, no doubt about it. But let me ask you this. Is this a different Kings team stylistically than we've seen the last couple of years?
It appears to be, yes.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like they're still getting adjusted to whatever, like you brought it up early, finding out exactly who they are. I still don't know. I thought last week I brought it up, or maybe even earlier this week, that they were diving in and trying to be an elite 2-point team. But yet you hear Mike, he's still preaching to spray threes.
Yes.
He's still talking about letting it fly.
They want to get up at least around 40 again.
Yeah, so they're still trying to figure it out. And I think the players are still trying to figure out, how they mesh and execute what Mike is trying to do on the floor.
If we're being honest, doesn't that get back to the whole fit question? Now, DeMar DeRozan has been great, but doesn't that really get back to the whole question of how he fits what they do?
Yes, but here's the thing, Whitey. DeMar DeRozan, and we knew that from the jump, is not a plug and play and continue what you're doing the last 2 years. When you added DeMar, you got to adjust a little bit. That's why I talked about, having a package just for DeMar, and we've seen that. Some ISO ball for him. He gets to a spot, you run the offense through him. But it's not necessarily a fit, more of how do we adjust now with having DeMar here? You got to make some changes. You can't just run the same offense out there when you add a guy like DeMar.
So are the Kings still in a good place? We have the answer to that when we come back to the Golden One Center. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system?
and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost, or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Rev up the excitement during Sky River Casino's Table Games exclusive Lexus giveaway starting November 1st. Get in on the action as a Sky River Rewards member for your chance to win a 2025 Lexus NX350H SUV. Earn entries with qualifying hands played at your favorite table games. Boost your chances with double entries every Monday and Tuesday. Then on November 29th, you could drive off in style with a brand new 2025 Lexus SUV. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
It's all in how you look at it. Coming to you, of course, from the Golden One Center, and the Kings facing a 4-game homestand here. A lot of questions. Follow them here off the road. And so, Kings fans hoping for a lot of energy and excitement tonight, some sunshine, but you look outside, kind of gloomy. That's okay, because they're playing the Suns tonight. So that's a good omen.
And they're not used to this kind of weather down there in Phoenix, right? They're waking up.
They hate it.
All miserable, depressed, sad. They don't even want to play tonight.
This to them is like freezing cold.
Right?
Because they're used to practicing and playing in the desert.
Yeah.
So easy one for the Kings tonight.
I like, dude, you're being positive today. I've been ranting and raving, and you're being uplifting. I like that. I appreciate that.
You're making a lot of friends in the fly flipping community today. I'll tell you that.
Man, sometimes you got to rattle some cages, wake some people up. Anybody that knows me knows what kind of dude I am. So I ain't worried about these jokers.
I'll give you a chance to answer one of the charges.
Which one of the charges?
Someone suggesting that you have at least once chewed out somebody for not getting your fast food order right.
No, that is not. I will say I did get on somebody's case one time. This was in Hawaii, me and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
We're at this pizza spot in Hawaii. We sit down and there's a table next to us, about 6 people. I got the kids, they're hungry. This guy takes their order.
Is this just a couple years ago then?
This is just earlier this year. This year.
Yeah.
Guy takes their order, and I'm like, all right, he's going to take our order next. We're sitting there. Their order comes out. They're eating breadsticks. They're eating, appetizers, mozzarella, and dude still has not taken our order.
Wow.
And so the kids are like, Dad, I'm hungry. So I go to the guy. I'm like, excuse me, sir, you haven't taken our order yet. And, I was upset by this point. And I'm like, can you please turn to my kids and tell them why you haven't taken our order yet? And the kids are like, Dad, don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm like, we can't even get no damn breadsticks. They got their pizza. They got their salad. They got their dessert.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't even order breadsticks yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was I did get a little hot about that, And
did they give anything free or anything for that?
No. I don't know. No. They didn't offer anything.
Huh.
It was fine after that. But, one thing that does bother me, and I'm on a rant here, so I'll keep it going, is when people don't say hello when you're checking out of a grocery store. Let's say the cashier says hello to 5 people in front of you. Then I come up and it's nothing. And that bothers me. You know why? You want to know why?
Well, I'm guessing it could be racially motivated.
Right. As a black man, 50 years on this earth almost, these are how we receive things.
Mhm.
It's like, I'm looking, you're saying hi to everybody else, but because it feels like in this country, black men are viewed a certain way, we internalize that. You know what I mean? And so the cashier may be totally fine. It might be an issue, but because of how we're brought up, the stigma in this country, everything that's going on, you take that personally. And it might not even be anything. And so then I'll say, hello, how are you? I'll make the introduction. And it's like, oh, hi, But and I'm sure other people, can attest to this too. Like, I'm just like everybody else. Greet me like you would. Ain't no reason to be scared of drapes. Ain't no reason to be scared of black people. Ain't no reason to be scared of minorities, people of color, Hispanics. Like, we all bleeding red. And so that's one of the things that really bothers me. And it might not even be, like I said, what I think it is, but because of what we are and how we've been grown in this country, that's how we feel. Exactly. So I'm just giving you some inside tea right there.
Gotcha.
About how we feel at times.
Gotcha. 20 years ago, I would have said that never happens to Whitey, but I'm not going there. I'm not saying that now. I am not saying that.
Right.
Yeah. Are the Kings still in a good place? Your friend, our friend of the show, Law Murray, he puts together a list in the Athletic power rankings, basically, and he puts teams in tiers. He has the contenders tier, tier 1. Tier 2 is in a good place, which is where the Kings were last week. And he has the next one, which is the bubble. And the Kings, for what it's worth, have fallen from 9th and in a good place last week to 12th and in the bubble this week, according to Law Murray. He also this week says something nice
in the West or just
in the
overall?
NBA.
In the NBA.
Overall,
okay.
In the NBA.
Okay.
Yeah, not in the West.
All right,
Thanks for clarifying.
All right.
He also wants to say something nice about each team this week. So here's what Law Murray says about the Sacramento Kings. The Kings need to be strong offensively, and they're asking a lot of their three-dimensional offense led by Sabonis and Fox and DeRozan. But through 11 games, they've been above average defensively, despite rim protection concerns and a lack of depth. DeRozan in particular has picked his spots on steals while staying out of foul trouble, despite playing 38.2 minutes per game. So Law Murray says Kings sliding a few spots here in the overall NBA rankings, but surprisingly effective on defense.
Right, exactly. I think DeMar's been fantastic on defense. You look at, like Law was talking about, his steal numbers, his deflection numbers. He's getting his hands in passing lanes. I don't think the defense is that far off from being where we want it to be. I haven't checked the latest rating. I got it right here, as a matter of fact. Kings, how about this, Whitey? 9th in defensive rating, according to this latest metric.
9th?
Right. Yeah, hopefully this is true. Let me see.
I know they've been right around there the last few days.
Yeah, this one's wrong. This is this is I'm not going to use this from Sports Radar, which should be a halfway decent, trustworthy site, that does a lot of research for us. But yeah, they had 9th. That can't be right. And this is a paid thing that NBC pays for, and they get that on for every game. They had them listed at 9th. I'm going to the actual traditional website, NBA.com, and find out where the Kings rank in terms of a defensive rating.
We can quibble with the rating, but I think the larger point stands. But yeah, what do you got there?
12th defensive rating. And that's despite giving up threes.
Basketball Reference has them 11th. So
you like Basketball Reference more so than NBA.com stats, huh?
Yeah, it's just a little more user-friendly.
User-friendly? Okay.
Maybe I'm just more used to it.
Yeah. But they're 12th according to NBA.com in defensive rating. And they really, in my opinion, and we could look at the numbers, they haven't guarded the three well at all. If they tighten that up just a little bit, and Mike Brown always talks about the high five contest, and I see it out there. I see the guy, but they're just a hair too late a lot of times. If they tighten that up, we're talking about a top 10 defense here in the league.
Yeah, and then you figure out the offense.
Yes.
And you should be sailing along.
How about this? Latest numbers. Offense 12th they've slipped down to. What do you think about that?
That's not terrible, but, it's almost mid-pack, and then they should be better.
Yeah, exactly.
But the bright side is, well, if the three-point shot were going in, they'd be a lot higher. So it's all in how you interpret it, right?
Yeah,
and we're being positive today. I'm being positive.
I like that.
So rather than, they can't make a three, it's, the three is going to start going in eventually.
Right.
I think it's going to go in starting tonight.
I like your positivity. And I would imagine the players and the coaches aren't panicking just yet, because they know these guys are better shooters than what they've shown. Let me ask you this, because you brought something up yesterday, I think it was, with Mike Brown. I feel like they're getting a lot of good shots, and I think you alluded to Mike saying he's looking for, things he could change or something he could do to help them out.
Yeah, that was when Sean Cunningham came on. He said that Mike is looking into calling a few more plays to kind of have a little more control on where they get the shots from.
All right, I was wondering what could he do if you're getting the kind of shots that you want? Like, as a coach, the plays you draw up are what? Get the shots you want.
Yeah.
If you're getting that and not making it, what more can you do?
Yeah. Well, going back to last year, and I heard Alan Stiles talking about this today. Last year, people were wondering about HB. How come sometimes he doesn't get a lot of shots? And Mike Brown said, we're not going to call a lot of plays for him. And I believe he said something to the effect of, we don't call a lot of plays for anybody because it's kind of a read and react motion offense. So I could see how Mike Brown might be looking at it and going, let's see if we can just do a little bit of tinkering here or there so that we're more likely to get Keegan's going to get that corner three or whatever it is that, because they're just looking at everything now. If you're the coach of the team, this number is terrible. Is there anything I can do? So I give him credit for at least examining that. I don't know how, feasible it actually is. So, we'll call this play and we'll get this shot. But he's got to try to do something.
Right. You can't just, hey, I'm doing my job, guys.
The ball's got to go in.
And maybe too, we're talking so much about the threes. I'm just, spitballing here. Maybe Mike is looking at getting more things going to the basket, getting some easier looks to get them going early on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what's the narrative? Just get something to fall, whether it's a free throw, a layup, just see something go through the basket. Then maybe that helps you confident wise further out. Maybe Mike is going to draw up some more plays early on to get some easier baskets.
That's one of the most puzzling things about this slump. And we'll share that with you when we come right back to the Golden One Center on Sacktown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Build up to Black Friday with savings all month long at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances, plus take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And don't wait to pick up holiday inflatables under $20. Don't wait to save, in-store or online now, because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/6 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
As you know, the Kings are currently shooting 30% from the three-point line. I think they're 301. I guess, well, they were just behind Portland.
Yeah, Sacramento.
Depending on how Portland did last night, that could have changed a little bit.
Sac 30.1, 30th in the league
30th,
in three-point shooting. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm a believer that you tell whether a guy is a good shooter or not by looking at his three-point numbers and his foul shooting.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, yeah. So the Kings right now are not shooting the ball well, but they're shooting the ball really well from the foul line. And not just DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
So it's kind of puzzling when you're shooting the ball so well from the charity stripe. After last year, were they last in foul shooting last year?
Yeah, I think last or second to last.
Yeah. That tells me this team is prone to some overthinking or something.
And here's the thing, Whitey. I'm looking at, I got the numbers right here from Stat Factor, a different stat service that we use. Number one in free throw percentage, dead last in 3-point. Those two don't reconcile, like we talked about.
Exactly.
Those two don't reconcile.
That's a puzzler.
25th in assists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're missing a lot of shots. You hit 4 or 5 more threes a game. That goes up for you right there. And so I do believe there's some encouraging sign. How about this too, Whitey? 30th in 3-point percentage, but 6th overall in field goal percentage. I could argue that we're on the precipice of a historic offensive explosion from Sacramento.
Today is a positive day.
I'm taking here we go. Your advice here and going positive here. Like, they're 6th in total field goal percentage, 10th in scoring, and yet the 3 is not even a part of their bag yet.
No.
Like, they're doing all this without the 3. Let them get hot from 3, and you can see these numbers explode.
As you're talking, I'm seeing
you liking that, right?
140, 150, 170.
Come on, man.
Tonight, everything going in.
Yes. It's so, and maybe that's why the coaches and the players aren't panicking, anything like that. Sure, it's been 11 games. Sure, you want to shoot better, but the signs are there. You mentioned it, the free throw shooting. They improved that markedly from last season. That number one in the league so far. They're getting great looks. It's just a matter of knocking them down.
Mm-hmm,
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a little bit, I don't know, psychological, or just do you think we think guys are pressing? Do you see it? Can you watch them play and see this shot or that shot, or somebody passing up this shot or that shot? And to your well-trained eye, can you say, I think they're pressing?
I have seen it. Yeah. I think watching the game, I've seen guys miss in the first half and pass up shots in the second half. And Mike talked about it too. Mike talks about it after the game. Like, we pass up some looks, some shots that we just got to shoot. And so, but it's human nature, Whitey. I mean, not everybody is John Starks in the finals or Eastern Conference finals against Chicago. I think it was, what was he? 1 for 17. He just kept firing. Not everybody's like that, with an unconscious, mind when it comes to shooting, And how about this? And I understand Mike wants to let it fly, but I've heard people say, all right, if you're not hitting that 3, turn it down, try to get to the paint. And so I think they're trying to do both, man. And right now it's not working, but I do think it takes time, man. I look at not only the hesitation on some 3s, and I talked about this yesterday. I urge fans and viewers to watch the offense, the number of cuts. Do you see 2 guys standing in the same position? Do you see two guys making the same cut? I feel like they're not all just in sync yet offensively.
Do you see two guys off the ball staring at the guy with the ball?
With the ball, right? Yeah.
What are you going to do? I'm not doing anything until you move. Okay.
Exactly.
By the way, have you ever talked to John Starks? Really good interview.
No, I have not.
I hate to go here on a day where we're being so positive, and he's a wonderful guy. He has maybe the worst basketball injury I've ever heard. And I know there are things, like snapping and breaking. Yeah. Terrible. And I know he had this because we had him on a show once, and I was like dared to ask him this question, and I asked him, and he answered it. He had something called testicular torsion, and I'll just leave it at that. And that is exactly what you would think it would be. And he had it.
Bro, really?
He sustained it, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's no picnic." So anyway, every time I hear John Starks, first I kind of shift uncomfortably a little bit,
yeah,
and then I think of that story. So anyway,
oh my, did he talk about it when you interviewed him?
He's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah. What is it? Well, it's just what
it sounds like. Oh man, no, John Starks. I've never had the chance to chat with him. Next time I do, I'll.
Yes,
tell me about that injury,
unless he's changed his approach on it, but he's very open about it.
Right.
What about the Suns team scares you after seeing him Sunday? Devin Booker's terrifying, and he actually, he faded in that game, and De'Aaron and DeMar took over. I don't want to make excuses for the other team, but apparently he was not feeling well. He was ill in that game.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah. But he's phenomenal.
Devin Booker?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's legit. He's the truth, man. And the fact that I still don't believe he never started a game in college. Like all 38 games he played in college, he came off the bench at Kentucky. Like you're talking about an elite scorer, a guy that can hit tough shots, and he may have to single-handedly carry the squad tonight. As of now, Grayson Allen and Brad Beal still listed as questionable tonight with a couple of injuries. And so
Grayson Allen's turned a little gray. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I did.
You see Kyrie last night? He's got a little snow on the roof.
Really?
A little bit.
Man,
it looks classy, but it just kind of surprised me.
All right. I mean, your boy got some too.
I know. It looks classy. Nothing wrong with it. I didn't realize Kyrie had been around that long.
Yeah. And you know what? When you ask what I think about Phoenix and what to expect, Devin Booker is going to do his thing. Grayson Allen is the guy that worries me. And here's why.
Because he hit, 9 against the
Remember last year? And he had an off game on Sunday. So, if he plays tonight, can we do the same thing? I think that's going to be key, especially if Brad Beal doesn't play. How does this team score points? To me, Grayson Allen can be an X factor tonight.
Mm-hmm. Now we're going to talk to Anthony Slater. Coming up in just about 15 minutes or so. And one of the things we may end up asking him about is, are you hearing anything on the trade front, free agency front? And maybe he's not hearing anything. Yesterday, Sean Cunningham said, I'm not hearing much. But I wanted to take another look at a couple of players. We touched on this earlier. A couple of guys that we've been talking about as guys that might be good fits for the Kings, because look what they did last night.
Yes.
John Collins,
who
first was Drape's guy, and now
I know Jay is
and Drape's
all right.
And Jay may actually like him more than you, if that's possible.
No, he's all in.
Yeah, but last night, and they played these Suns, right? Didn't Utah play
Utah Suns last night? Yeah.
John Collins last night, 29, 10, and 4. 29 points, 10 caroms, and 4 assists.
He's a dog. His, field goal how many shots did he take? Because
I'd have to look that up.
Look that up for me.
I'm going to say like 30.
He got him up last night. I looked at it and I was like, damn, John Collins is out there balling, man. He's he got the green light. He's like, oh shoot, I'm in the starting lineup. I'm gonna go for it.
34 minutes, 29 points. He was 12 and 19.
That's pretty solid.
3 of 6 threes. Also had a block.
So let me ask you this:
how many assists?
We've had this discussion.
Yes.
4?
4 assists.
4 assists. How many rebounds?
Like only 10.
Are you on board now with John Collins?
30 and 10, baby.
What it would take to get up. Whitey, are you coming around to our side now with John Collins?
Well, it's tough to separate, but okay, if in some magical fairyland we can say you don't have to worry about what it would cost to get him, you need front court help, and you could get him. So yes.
Okay, all right. I was waiting for you to actually say yes or no.
Yeah. It's not easy for me, but it's tough on this day looking at those numbers to say no. But another guy that we talked about really more last year than this year, and he may have had a few health issues. Robert Williams III.
Time Lord, yes.
In Portland's win over Minnesota. I think Jeremy Grant also had a nice game last night, but I think we're all beyond him.
Yeah,
he was here. We saw him. We all said,
yeah.
Robert Williams III was 9 for 10 from the floor, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks in 25 minutes.
Sign me up.
Yes.
Sign me up. If he's healthy, that's really the only caveat with him. In terms of basketball, he's a hell of a player.
Yes.
Even when he was with the Celtics, they talked about when Time Lord plays, we're this. Our defensive numbers is this. We need him. And then obviously the injuries happened and everything like that. But he's a difference maker out there. And, I wonder if as we go get closer to the trade deadline, will Portland start showcasing him a little more? Seeing, drawing up some interest. Because they got 3 centers. 3 legit centers. Got the rookie Klinging. Got Ayton, of course.
Yeah.
You got Time Lord. Like, that's you got to make a move at some point if Time Lord Robert Williams is healthy out there in Portland. But I like Time. Hey, a matter of fact, we play Portland the day after Thanksgiving. So we'll get it up close, and it's in Portland. But we'll get to see Time Lord Robert Williams if he's healthy. And I'm interested to see how he looks up close and personal.
If I'm reading this right from Spotrac, let's see, this year he's making $12.4 million, and then you have him next year at $13.2, and then he's an unrestricted free agent in 26-27. You're right. The big question. It's not even a question mark. It's a big cloud. Is the injury issues with him.
Yes. And, and he's had some freak injuries too, man. It's like, he gets traded to Portland and immediately is hurt. The season starts, immediately he's hurt. It's like this guy, I want to see this guy get 3 months of just straight play instead of 2 weeks here, a week there. I mean, I think he's a phenomenal player, and I look at him as a guy that, can be a great backup center, can be a great lob threat, gives us something we don't have, can block shots.
Yes.
As well.
Rim protection.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that's what really stood out to me last night as he had the 3 assists. Very active, very athletic and active when he's healthy. And I think right now, and I'm actually trying to get some clarification on this, I think currently, it's a hamstring strain.
Yeah.
Which he sustained during camp. When you look at all the injuries, he's had some major knee injuries, and maybe it's all related, but a hamstring I can deal with.
Yeah, I was wondering, does that, ease you? Like if it was another knee injury or something like that, then you're like, geez, but hamstring, those happen.
Yes.
Those happen in the NBA.
Yeah. Now that's on the surface. Like I say, if it's related to everything else, no. But okay, if you could get one of the two,
yes.
Which one are you going with?
Am I including money, the cost of giving up, what you have, all that, or just the player?
Just the player. We'll go just player. Because that's kind of what you asked me.
John Collins. I'm still going John Collins.
Are you?
I think.
But if you consider all the money and everything, you change your answer?
Yeah. Considering the money, what it would take to give up, Time Lord would be the guy.
Yeah.
But in terms of just the player, because here's the thing about John Collins, where I think he can really excel. When a guy like Malik goes down, we're not asking, where are we getting scoring from? You know what I mean? It's we gotta score. We saw it last night.
You and Jay are ready to build a John Collins.
Yeah,
statue.
Dude. I've been on John Collins since day one.
You have.
I've looked at him and said, put him in a good situation, a good environment, and all those concerns about defense, fit, and all that, I think they'll go away.
The only way I'd build a John Collins statue is if I could take down the Piglet one and replace it. That's the only way.
What is it with you and that Piglet, bro?
Come on. When we come back, we have Anthony Slater coming up this hour, and next, the Lakers' plan for Bronny is coming under heavy fire.
Really?
Heavy fire next on Sacktown Sports.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy.
Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, and other offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
David Dusek writes in Golf Week that according to FootJoy, about 65% of golfers wear the wrong size golf gloves. A properly fit and maintained golf glove will help you stay connected to the club without extra tension, which can mean more speed. Snug is the name of the game. A perfect glove should fit like a second skin, wrapping tightly around your palm and fingers. If the glove is too loose, the extra material can bunch up and lead to a bad connection between your hands and the grip. The fingers of the glove should extend just to the tips of your fingers. If there's too much space at the end of your fingers, try a cadet version of the glove made for golfers who have shorter fingers and wider palms. The Velcro closure should only require a slight pull to secure it. If you're stretching the strap significantly, the glove is too small. Natural leather offers superior feel and touch. Synthetic leather gloves tend to cost less and probably last longer. After your round, air out your glove to maintain softness and flexibility. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Ram Power Days?
We are finishing the year strong by stocking up on new heavy-duty Ram trucks with over 300 available. And with savings up to $17,000 off MSRP, your perfect Ram truck is waiting at Hoblet.
That's some pretty big savings on those hard-to-find heavy duties.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. 17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmen after 10,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet selection inventory coupons, 500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership, and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for eligible trade-ins. 5 of this net savings, see dealer for details. Sample VIN 238277.
Live and local, it's the Tribe Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Katrina and the Waves. I think tonight the Kings will be walking on the Suns, walking on sunshine drapes, walking on sunshine.
I like that. Walking on the sun.
Yeah.
Right? Stomping on the sunshine.
Yeah. Maybe we should have played a little Smash Mouth, walking on the sun.
Yeah. Yes. I'm
still
watching
got time.
O-Rob out there.
Yeah.
I know, right? JQ that up. I'm watching O-Rob.
Where is he?
He's doing some 3-on-3 right now.
All right.
Okay. That's what we've been waiting on, right?
Yeah.
See. Ooh, that was a nice move, though.
Yeah.
That was a nice move. All right.
Now
He's
he's
looking
got
good.
actually, because he's been hurt so much through a key part of camp and everything, he's got to kind of just learn what they're doing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, he hasn't been in any 5-on-5. He's just been a bystander, if you will, a viewer.
Yeah.
You know, look at that challenge, that contest.
He looks, since this is a day to be positive, I'll just tell Jay, listen, he looks great. He does. He looks very athletic. He's a lot more. I hadn't seen him a lot in summer league, but he looks a lot more lithe and mobile than I guess I was expecting.
I agree. I mean, he looks in great shape, too.
Great shape.
Like, great shape.
Yeah, he looks like his endurance is very high.
Yeah. Look like prime David Robinson out
He
there.
does.
You know? Like,
Better.
Oh, man. It's exciting. Can't wait
Yeah.
to see him out there.
What do you make of the criticism of the Lakers' plan for Bronny? Or maybe I should phrase it this way.
Yeah,
Rose.
yeah.
What do you think of the Lakers' plan for Bronny? And Windhorst is the one who reported this.
I thought it was not play any road games in the G League, right? Just home games. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Or is there more to it?
That's pretty much it. Windhorst says he's only going to play in the South Bay Lakers home games. He's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player, and he's not getting on United Airlines to fly to these road games. And this is, Windhorst's opinion. He says, I know he's getting somewhat special treatment and nepotism. That's fine. Honestly, I don't care. Like I said, it's normal. Now, I think it's actually detrimental to him. I don't like that. I don't know whose idea it was, but obviously the Lakers are fine with it. They're doing it on this particular instance. I think that's gone too far. I don't think it benefits Bronny. Don't think it benefits the South Bay Lakers, and I don't think it benefits LeBron at this point.
I agree 100% with that. Like, if your goal is to get this guy to be the best NBA player he can be, if I'm correct, the best way to do that is play, right?
Yes.
Like, to play. And so I don't know if this is what the Lakers are doing, but this is what it looks like. It looks like they're treating him like a box office draw, treating him like a state fair act, treating him like the NBA treats Mac McClung. Trot him out for the slam dunk contest and then put him away. Why only play him in home games?
Yeah.
Because you want the crowd there? What? That's that. I don't know if that's what they're doing, that's their reasoning, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, well, he's going to play in home games anyway, but why isn't he going on the road? Is that because then they can activate him for more games that the Lakers play? I don't even understand why you would do that and I can't imagine here LeBron would say, it's too hard for him. I mean, I can't imagine they would do that. So I don't see why you would even hatch this plan.
Yeah, it doesn't unless, remember, his agent came out and said before the draft he's not playing in the G League.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a compromise, an agent play. I don't know. It's a bad look either way. If your dream is to be an NBA player, do what it takes to be an NBA player. Road, like if I'm a G leaguer, I want to go on the road. I want to go in an opposing team's arena and drop 20 on them. I want to build that camaraderie with my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it like this too, Whitey. If you're a teammate of his, he doesn't have to fly commercial with us. He doesn't have to go on coach and whatever it is. He gets to stay home. Like, I disagree with how they're handling it.
Yeah, I don't see how he benefits from it. I mean, he avoids the inconvenience of not having to travel, but like you said, playing the games is really important.
Right.
So it's kind of just a puzzler. I'm kind of with Windhorst. Like, I don't care. They can do what they want, but why in the world would they do it?
How does this help him?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the question. If the goal is to make him an NBA player, how does this help him? It doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some other motives. Either Rich Paul, maybe he doesn't want to, maybe the security that's needed on the road or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, that is the Lakers' plan for Bronny. The sideshow continues. And how about the main stage last night? Main stage being Chase Center. I know we touched on it much earlier in the show, but how about Steph Curry with the dagger? Good night to Klay Thompson and the Mavericks and Klay's return.
He is so good. He's unstoppable. And the thing about it is, because I saw the shot last night, and I'm sitting there thinking, Whitey. Is Steph the most clutch player
right now?
Maybe in NBA history? I know Jordan's hit some shots. Like, who would we consider the most clutch? I mean, Jerry West was considered clutch,
Mr.
right?
Clutch.
Mr. Clutch. But
yeah,
I feel like Steph, his flair for the dramatic is like unmatched, man.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there was a time through their first championship where people said, he didn't win the finals MVP. So that was one of the issues. Like, oh, he's a great shooter. Yeah. Oh, he's a phenomenal shooter, best shooter ever, but doesn't make his teammates better.
Oh, we know. Yeah.
And, in the biggest games, he hasn't been great. But now, and he turned that around in that series against Boston. To your point, I don't know that I've ever seen a guy hunt threes the way he does, just relentlessly, not just at the end when, you're down 3, you need a 3, just the whole game relentlessly. And I was thinking the Warriors now, they're kind of, strength in numbers like they used to be because they've got this depth, but they're not. It's him. He carries them.
Yeah. Although, people who cover the Warriors will say, I think they went 3-0 without him. But
that's true, and that's fair.
Yeah, but
when he's there, like last night, it was him, and they all knew it, and it's not something that's detrimental. It's like they recognize this is our best chance to win.
And I'll go back to something you just said a second ago. Relentless. The pressure he puts on the defense is unmatched.
Yeah.
He's in constant motion. He has a great handle. He could finish in traffic. He could shoot the lights out. I don't know how you defend him other than getting the ball out of his hands. And then that plays into the Warriors' hands. That's exactly what they want you to do. He's phenomenal, man. I know I hate on Steph and the Warriors a lot, but he's so much fun to watch too, Whitey. Like, it's like, he ain't going to make that. And he keeps constantly, time and time again, raising the bar and hitting. Like what he did in the Olympics. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Those are insane shots that he's hitting, and he does it time and time again.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, for all the drama of Clay's return, which I know that was really emotional stuff for everybody, but the bigger story to me is that the Warriors beat Dallas, and the Warriors are 9-2.
9-2.
Yes. I don't know how they're doing that.
And they're good defensively also. That's the thing.
They're 6-1 on the road.
Yeah. I'm watching Buddy Hield, too, the way he's playing for them. He had one move where, like, he's just playing so free, man. And that's what the system, and they're bringing Kuminga off the bench, and it's working. He's not pouting me being a malcontent. I hate on them all the time. I got to give them credit because a week ago, I'm like, they haven't played anybody. They played the Celtics without Jaylen Brown. Chet Holmgren got hurt. But last night, they beat the Mavericks. Like, where's our solid team? I'm not saying they're no finals contenders or anything like that, but they're a solid team.
Yeah. Amadrock points out Curry sits most of the third quarter, comes in the fourth, and just drops daggers, not only from 3, but penetrating the paint.
Yes.
Hello, Slates.
Our boy Slate's about to come on.
He's going to join us. And that's the other thing about Steph. He recognizes as well as anyone I've ever seen when, all right, if they're overplaying, they're not going to give me the 3. I'm going to take it to the basket.
He's taking it to the basket, right?
It sounds like the simplest thing, but it's at that level. Obviously, it's not, but he makes it look that
He's
way.
a cheat code out there offensively, man. Got the handles, can finish, can shoot. He can beat you at all 3 levels. He's virtually unstoppable in the basketball.
We're going to find out if there's any buzz about the Kings, maybe looking at any of these players, whether the John Collins rumor, that is not a rumor. We've just started it ourselves. We'll see if there's anything to it when Anthony Slater joins us next year from the Goal One Center on Sacktown Sports.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 11/16, in-store only.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Oh. Yeah, Trace, we were just talking, of course, about that emotional game last night at Chase Center, and our next guest from The Athletic, Anthony Slater. You were there last night, right? You saw it unfold live.
Yeah, it was, I've covered them now, 7-8 years pretty intimately, and it was odd. I actually went out to Dallas in the preseason and went into the Mavericks facility, saw Clay working out kind of in a Dallas gear, and watched them play the Bucks, and it was weird. Even seeing them in the home locker room with Luka and Kyrie, and I think the entire Warriors organization yesterday got that up close, like, oh, this is odd.
Yeah.
And it was clearly strange for Clay, and Clay was very much, in the lead up, like not wanting this spectacle. He wanted it to be about the game. He's kind of in this competitive state. There was a bitterness about how it split up. But I think once he saw the sailor hats and the employees and the celebration, he couldn't help himself. He's like, it is pretty cool to be celebrated in that way.
I was just going to say real quick, sorry, the bigger story to me is that the Warriors won again. That's incredible.
Yeah, they're playing well. The depth's working. And I talking to a few of their players post game. The big thing is, like, they kicked away a lot of games late last year. I mean, they did one here. Remember the play-in game here?
Yeah,
It was for basically who was going to advance, and they were up like 24.
And Malik hit that shot, right? Yeah.
Yep. And it was, guess what happened in that game? Steph had a terrible turnover that turned into a Malik 3, and then Draymond Green like bounced one out of bounds, and they blew a 4-point lead in the last minute. And that was like one of about 7 of those last year. Where you're talking to some of their players last night, it was like they don't come back and win that one late. They don't come back from 7 in Boston. They blew a 31-point lead in Houston, but won in overtime. And it just those games are the difference right now between them being 6-5, where nobody would be talking about them, and 9-2.
Yeah. Hey, Slate. So we discussed earlier the Kings and their 6-5 record. I look at Minnesota. 6-5, bad loss last night, but they got a new piece in Julius Randle. I look at the Knicks, 5-5. I think they got a new piece in Cat, like teams with big new pieces that they're trying to institute. A little bit slow start. What are you seeing with the Kings and as they get DeMar DeRozan ingratiated with the squad here?
Well, the West is just thorny in general, but with the Kings, I don't actually see the DeRozan integration as their issue. I actually, he's been great, right? And I mean, it's what is he per game now? Like, and it's a consistent 20.
25. Last check.
I don't. When I watch them, it's not like I don't feel. Maybe you guys feel differently, but it's not like late in the game. You're like, oh well, he's still trying to figure out where to be, and him and Sabonis are not in the right. It kind of feels pretty smooth from that standpoint. The thing I'm looking at, and I know you guys talk about this plenty, but I got the stats up right here. 30th in the league in 3-point percentage.
Why you gotta be negative, bro? We trying to be positive here, kid. We trying to
hitting 3-pointers would help.
It
help y'all be a little bit more positive. But and again, some of that small sample and the various aspects, but
last is last.
Last. I mean, and look, Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets, Wizards, Sixers, who were playing terrible Blazers. I mean, those are bad offensive teams, and I don't think the Kings are. They're still, by the way, 12th in offensive rating.
Yeah,
juice that up to even mid-tier.
Right,
34% from 3, which by the way is not that good. I mean, it's okay. Then we're talking about a top 7 offense, and you're probably talking about a team right now that's maybe 8-3 or whatever.
Yeah. So Slates, they got 4 home games coming up here in a row. And they got tonight, they got Suns and they got Minnesota. And I know it's only November, but how big are these next 2 games against conference foes, the Suns and the Timberwolves?
Yeah, they're big in the sense of, you guys remember the last week last year when it was about 7 teams that were within like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
The Suns were one of them, right? And I really like the Suns this year, but KD 2 weeks on a calf right now. They might kind of come back to the pack. Every game's big. It's funny, you mentioned I was at Warriors Mavericks yesterday, and part of the argument from some of the players, particularly Clay, Draymond, and Steph, not wanting it to be some retirement spectacle celebration.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a big game. Warriors need to beat the Mavericks. Mavericks need to beat the Warriors. Like both teams feel this could be the difference between the 3rd seed and the 5th seed come April. And I think the same thing tonight. Obviously, there's not a random celebration of an opposing player, but this could matter come April. And certainly, the Minnesota game, as you mentioned, everything is so compact in this West. So it's huge in that standpoint. And, early season rhythm, confidence, all that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Slates, one of the things we also been talking about is, with Malik out, who's going to step up? How do we get more out of the bench? Or is it just not that good right now and maybe a move needs to be made?
Do you want me to take the negative front? Or
the positive front? I want you to be real.
Yeah. They're thinner at the back, and you saw that in preseason. Remember, because no Herter in preseason, no Lyles. Monk missed some time, and I remember just the starters would come out hot, and then they would kind of get into the bench, and you're like, "Oh, Mason Jones is coming in a little early tonight." And, it just feels like that 10th, 11th, 12th type man is not as sturdy as maybe some of their competitors, and then. I would say 2 things on it. Number one, you mentioned we're watching Orlando Robinson, right? He just went through some 3-on-3. Can you get a surprise contributor? You know who else I'm looking at, which is very important? Devin Carter.
Yeah,
now.
Right.
He's talking to assistant coach Jim Morin right now, and it's very individual work. But as we think about where this team could have been deeper and maybe in the future can be deeper, he was the 13th pick. I saw Jared McCain last night.
Man, he's
for
balling.
the Sixers, 23 points. Could have had him.
Yep.
And again, I'm not saying we don't know if Devin Carter was a good pick or a bad pick. No idea.
Right.
But I know that
he's 2 for 2 since we've been watching him, so that's
it is.
See, oh, man, he's looking good.
That shot is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
But when they had that pick, you felt one of two things needed to happen. You needed to find somebody that helped this core, right? It needed to be a pretty quick rotation player, or they really talked with Chicago about Alex Caruso. I mean, obviously we reported that back then, and Chicago decided to go with the Josh Giddey trade. But imagine if you had an Alex Caruso instead, or if you had, again, the shoulder injury. They knew about it in advance. If he becomes a great player, then it'll be forgotten. But it's like, man, they could use a Jared McCain right now. Dalton Connect, maybe that was another option. But the other thing is that look, if he's back in January and he's playing good defense and hitting some open shots, like they're deeper.
Yeah. Anthony Slater with us, of course, and you're sitting next to not only one of the fine play-by-play announcers in the NBA slate, but you're sitting next to the president of the John Collins fan club.
Okay.
Now, we as fans, we've been wondering for many, many months about what about this guy, what about that guy. John Collins had a huge game last night. Robert Williams III had a huge game. Yeah. Are you hearing anything at all on the free agent or trade front that might involve the Kings?
Well, it's quiet. It's quiet because it's November. Everybody still is like figuring out who they are, figuring out which direction they're going. Typically, it's why the Towns thing happened literally 2 days before camp.
Yeah.
Because that's such a it's deadline time in the league. Almost it's like a fake deadline where it's like everyone. You very rarely see a November trade or a December trade in the NBA.
Right.
Usually mid-December. By the way, I think it's December 15th, 14th range is when players that were signed are even eligible to be traded. So that's kind of an important date. But often you don't just suddenly see trades December 16th. We're really talking. I think when Siakam was an early one last year, and Toronto moved early because they just decided, hey, it's blow up time.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But that was January, and that was early. So to be honest, John Collins, I think Utah will be open for business. I'll say that.
Right.
But I don't think I just don't think that's a mid-November thing. That might be a January thing. And I'm also looking at John Collins because y'all have got me on it. $26.5 million this year,
and then a player
option for $26.5. He's an upgrade on a Trey Lyles, I would probably agree with. But do you want to pay $26 million for a Trey Lyles upgrade? That would be my argument. But again, there's a reason he has that contract, because there was a time where he was viewed as like a fringe all-star. The talent's there. Sometimes you wonder about the motor is an issue. I remember I covered a game last year where he just huge play of the game. He gets an offensive rebound, and instead of putting it back up, he flings it into the fifth row.
I remember that game.
And it's kind of head scratching plays. Sometimes when you're watching from afar, you get tantalized by the talent, which is obviously there. The
you don't have to tell me. You tell him.
Yeah. I'm not. But here's my take on John Collins.
Yeah.
Anthony. Put him in. Look at the organizations he's been a part of. Atlanta, they're not stable. They're kind of a mess. Utah, not really trying to win right now. Put him in a high leverage situation where, he actually knows, we got a chance to do something special here. I feel like we can get the best out of him. Maybe that's just me pie in the sky thinking, but you get him in our culture with Mike Brown, with the system, not asking him to be the man. Asking him to give me 15 points a night, give me 7-8 rebounds. I think he would thrive.
I would say two things. Number one, he's kind of had some nicer moments in his Atlanta days when they were competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, he's on a team that went to the East Finals.
Right.
And he was pretty good.
Yes.
And again, got that contract that now doesn't look like a great contract, but again, he earned it for various reasons. Two, I know they have sniffed around on him in the past. I know even before they made the Kevin Huerter trade, they were kind of looking.
Oh, back when he was with Atlanta.
Yes,
Okay.
Back when he was with Atlanta before he goes to Utah. So it's a fair thought. I think in general you're right. I remember that you've talked to people around the Jazz the last couple of years, and it is in some ways a depressing situation where clearly the organization has pulled the plug the last 2 years. They've almost been too good the first couple of months, and that kind of impacts a player's motivation, right? I'm talking about, like I said, you need to have a motor inside and you rebound like you should, but it's I don't, half the time you're telling me, in March and April, I'm not going to be active tonight. Yeah. Basically, you're trying to lose games. You're trading away rotation players. Last year, they traded, Fontecchio in the middle of the season, which was their only wing. And it's that sucks your energy.
Right.
Where you're right is, John Collins, understandably from a human nature perspective, could come to a winning environment, suddenly have a big role and be invigorated, and maybe he is playing better.
That's what the hope is for me.
All right,
It's just,
Slade.
to me, the contract's a concern, especially in the second apron world.
And
It's
he's
like-
going to opt in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the Kings are they're in a tricky financial situation now that Sabonis' extension's kicked in. You know, obviously Fox is on a big number. Keegan Murray's coming up to extension. DeRozan didn't come in on a small number. You know, that's almost DeMar DeRozan money, what John Collins makes. So if it was a more appealing number, it's almost why Kuzma's been a name out there because he's on this declining. It goes from 20 to 18. It's so much about contract.
He's a Zach LaVine guy too.
I love Zach LaVine.
Talk about
but the contract, though, I get it.
Talk about
I get it. When I look at it, Slates, I'm the type. I look at the player.
Yeah.
The contract that's Monty McNair's job.
problem.
They can figure that out. But from a player standpoint, there's certain guys I like.
I 100% agree with that. But the problem at times with the fans just believe Zach LaVine for this guy. Why wouldn't you make the move? It's to even literally get Zach LaVine, you'd have to pile up enough contracts.
Yeah, that's a lot.
To get him.
That's a lot.
Which would mean there'd be significant players going out the door just because literally you have to have big contracts to get him. The Warriors, for example, were offered. Look, again, it wasn't deep level offer, but this past summer it was Chris Paul and Wiggins possibility for a Zach LaVine. And that was before they cut Paul. So you're basically talking Wiggins for LaVine. And I think in a vacuum, you could make a very clear argument that LaVine's a more, impactful player.
Sure.
Specifically on the offensive end, but it's you're looking at 40-something million compared to 24 million. And that matters. It just matters. It's why Keegan Murray right now is so valuable, right? Because he hasn't hit the second contract.
Yeah. So bottom line, the Kings start making just a few more threes and everything's going to take care of itself, right?
It'll help.
Yeah.
It will help. I think they're fine. 6-5 is fine at this point. This is what the West is going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think 48 wins could get you up towards the 4 seed, whereas 42 wins you might be out of the playoffs. It's so the margins are so tight, and we're 11 games in, and Fox will shoot it better. I think Fox will play better in general. I think they're going to be fine.
Anthony, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Grilled cheese sandwiches, I understand, downstairs. So that's a preview of the.
That's
with ham too.
Yeah,
okay. I like the halftime hot dog. The chocolate chip cookies are legendary.
Okay. Are they really?
Yeah, with the salt.
Oh, with the salt on.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. People love those.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy to. By the way, this is my first Golden One Center game of the year. I've just been swamped with road
traveling.
trips,
And everything.
Happy to do a little radio in person.
I know.
Yes,
right?
thanks. We appreciate it. Yeah.
People get to see your face on the YouTube chat and everything. Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Mike Brown pregame.
How about that?
Look at
Do we have a Bradley Beal status update yet?
No, still questionable. Him and Grayson.
That's pretty
still
big.
questionable.
I'll tell you what, we'll get one from Tim Kempton because he's going to join us
right
in just a
behind
second
us.
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand
next
it off
year.
because he's gonna give you an update.
Thanks, Anthony. Tim Kempton from the Suns next with Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BROOKS91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And now that the holidays are here, there is no better time than right now to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is back from now through January 2nd. You may say, Kyle, what is the Holiday Love Celebration? Well, let me tell you, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can discover exceptional offers on a new Mercedes-Benz like the 2025 GLC 300 SUV. It's just $559 a month for 36 months. They also have a full lineup of SUVs, vans, electric vehicles, and of course, certified pre-owned vehicles with rates as low as 2.99% APR up to 72 months on select vehicles. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton believes in the true Mercedes car buying experience. So make the short drive down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and see what a true car buying experience is really about. Or, of course, you can go online at mbfstockton.com.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
We just talked to Anthony Slater from The Athletic, and he left us with a question that I think our next guest can answer. Nice enough to join us, an 8-year NBA veteran, Suns analyst Tim Kempton. And Tim, Anthony Slater just left, and he asked us, hey, do you know what Bradley Beal's status is? We don't, but we're sure you do.
Yeah, Bradley Beal's not going to play tonight. And it's good news, bad news. Obviously, you want your stars to play. Played extremely well in Utah. It was the Devin Booker and Bradley Beal show as leaders leading the way in the scoring column, which you want to see. But about 7 minutes ago in that game, he tweaked his calf. And with the depth that the Suns have shown this year, there's no reason to push it, especially this early in the season. You got to.
We're fine with that. We're
right.
Rest.
Yeah, sit Booker too while you at it, right?
Yeah.
You know. Hey Tim, you guys 9-2, man. What's been what key so far? You think?
You know what? They've been playing good situational basketball. Last night was one of the better complete games, but they've been really good in the fourth quarter. And who would have known it after last year? Last year they were, either 29th or 30th in the league throughout the whole season in the fourth quarter. They just couldn't get stops. They couldn't score the ball in the fourth quarter. A lot of that was due to the, to the players that they had. No point guard.
Right. Yeah.
So Devin and Kevin and Bradley are tired from bringing the ball up and getting double teamed all night long. So Tyus and Monte Morris have been a big help there. And Royce O'Neal and Ryan Dunn have been phenomenal on the defensive end. So they're getting stops, and then they're guys like before Kevin went out, it was him. He had a great start to the season. It was just
he was in MVP talk early on. Yeah, no
exactly.
doubt.
Yeah,
exactly.
Quite a game Sunday, of course, in overtime when Mike Budenholzer draws it up on the whiteboard and tells the team, all right, this is what we can expect from the Kings. What's the biggest concern? What concerns the Suns the most about this Sacramento Kings team?
Right now it's DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Guy was unstoppable in the fourth quarter in overtime, and then he let the Aaron Fox just close it out here. I got us the lead in overtime. You just close it out, make it look good. But it was unbelievable. So they've got to change up their defensive assignment on DeMar DeRozan, whether it's individually or double team him. Get him to give the ball up, so at least when he gets it back, the shot clock is 3 or 4 seconds, as opposed to him holding the ball from 10, 11, 12, and him getting to his
where he
comfort
wants to.
spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if they switch up the defensive kind of principles tonight, throw some other guys at them, but there was no one individually. I mean, the other night we had Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal, all those guys.
Even when you knew it was coming.
Oh,
right?
we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just got so hot. I mean, Cotton Fitzsimmons, who we both know and love through our franchises, Cotton Fitzsimmons was, if they don't stop it, I'm not going to stop calling it.
Right.
So, DeMar DeRozan just it was the same play. Just ran that little high pick and roll, and DeMar got to the free throw line and shot over whoever was standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tim, I'm a big fan of Mike Budenholzer,
Yes.
2-time coach of the year. What are some of the things that you notice and see that he's instituted with this team?
Well, obviously the personnel was huge. Getting personnel that you can work with and to run your offense is a big plus. And it starts with Tyus Jones, Monte Morris, and I'll tell you a guy that's kind of gone under the radar, who's been phenomenal for the Suns, is Mason Plumlee.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's been phenomenal. You just look at his numbers and you look at how he's affected this team when he's on the court. But what it's enabled them to do is they're moving the ball better. There's not as much isolation. And again, that goes back to having point guards that push the ball up. They're scoring a little bit earlier in offense. You like easy buckets. So if you get up and attack the rim before the defense is set, you get those easier buckets. Even if it's 5, 6, 7 seconds into it, the double teams aren't there yet because you really haven't set your defense. So they're playing with a little bit quicker pace. The middle of the floor is open, so it's a drive and kick scenario now with the Phoenix Suns, and you got guys on the perimeter, Royce O'Neal, all those guys we talked about, obviously Devin and Kevin and Royce, and then Grayson Allen, and then Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn's been a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Everybody knew he could play defense.
Shooting.
But everybody thought, and it was interesting, well, he didn't make many threes in college. He didn't shoot many threes in college, and that goes back, to the way Virginia ran their offense and everything. That wasn't what
Part
he was
of
called
their,
on to do. But the first time it was in the gym, it was like, wow, there's nothing wrong with that stroke. He just needs to get in the gym and shoot 500 of them a day to get his confidence going. And he's making them at a good clip, and he's shooting it quick and with confidence. And he's been a real pleasure to see as a rookie.
That's Tim Kempton, Suns radio analyst, an 8-year NBA veteran. Going to follow up on something you told us last time you were here, and you may not even remember this, but last time you were nice enough to join us up here, we were talking about the officiating.
Yes.
And how you, as a guy who was very, very physical, you couldn't believe how the officials were letting the game go.
Yes.
Where are we now as far as early in this season? How are you with the degree to which the officials are calling fouls?
Well, I really like the way they're letting stuff go at the rim when the offensive player is initiating the contact. If you're a defender and you go straight up and you challenge shots, I really like that. The one that gets me, and it's so blatant, is the two-handed pushes out top on the screens.
Yeah.
I mean, not only do the screeners come over and push the defender, but the second guy is pushing the screener with two hands. And it's like, what am I missing here?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to kind of go back, because remember, it was last year halfway through the season, they didn't like the parade to the free throw line, so they backed off it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they've gone a little bit too far the other way now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I do like the challenges at the rim, but we're seeing a lot of holding and pushing and shoving on the perimeter.
Yeah.
That to me is just, it's uncalled for, and it's so obvious.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not basketball.
No, it's not.
It's not. Hey, Tim, when you look at the Western Conference, we know how difficult it's going to be. What's it going to take to win this war of attrition this season? Is it the healthiest team, basically, because we're seeing so many injuries?
Yeah, I think the key word you put in there was attrition.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started out very well, but right now we're dealing with it.
Yeah.
No Kevin Durant, no Bradley Beal, Nurkic is banged up, Grayson Allen is struggling with it. So I think it is. I think it's the teams that are able to weather that storm. And we go from here to OKC, and we saw what happened to Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson just went down 6 or 8 weeks with a hamstring. So availability is something that we probably don't talk enough about. It's definitely changed over the years. these guys are small countries with their gross domestic product.
Yes.
So they look at it a lot different, but it's still it's huge when you have your guys available. How much better you play?
Yeah. Kings dealing with Malik Monk's injury right now.
Yeah.
But speaking of KD, and we all know he's one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. How much do the Suns miss him at the defensive end?
That's a great point. We were talking about it. There was something that happened in the Olympics with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I don't know if it was the team mentality of not only are we going to beat everybody, but we're going to show them how really good we are, because let's face it, the rest of the world has been creeping up on the United States. And I thought there was definitely more bite in the way they played. It wasn't so much fun. It was like, we're going to go over there and
prove a point.
And to that point, I thought they really got after it on the defensive end, and we as the Phoenix Suns are reaping the benefits, because Kevin has been phenomenal, challenging more shots at the rim, using his length on perimeter as a perimeter defender. The same thing with Booker, really getting into guys, being physical like we talked about. And it's really worked throughout the whole lineup. I mentioned Ryan Dunn. That's where he has hung his hat. Royce O'Neal, I think, is an underrated defender. For us, he plays 4 positions on any given night and really gets after it. So, yeah, I think the Olympics had really kicked a switch with Devin and Kevin.
Hey, Tim, I got to give James Jones some credit.
Yes.
Because for a team with no cap space, I don't know how did he pull off, some of the moves he made to bolster this team and add depth to this team.
Yeah, obviously going into the summertime was first and foremost, let's face it, positionless basketball doesn't work in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen. We tried to sell it to our fans for a couple of years, and it just didn't work. But first of all, the Monte Morris thing. So we go, okay, Monte Morris, what a great pickup. A high-level second-team guard. Maybe not a starter, but
good player.
But a good player with Devin Booker, with Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant. He can fit in well as a good player. Doesn't have to be over the top. Then one of the other interesting moves, Colin Gillespie. So you got Monte Morris and Colin Gillespie. And then all of a sudden we got Tyus Jones. Right. It's like, wait a second, how'd that happen to your point? Right. And Tyus Jones was one of those mid-level guys.
1-year deal, right?
Yeah, 1-year deal. Yeah. Probably should have signed a 3 or 4 year deal at $15, $16 million a year. But it seemed like this offseason everybody went top heavy with 25 to 30 million guys, and they went, with small contracts and took out the middle class. Well, Tyus Jones was sitting there flipping his thumbs, and he said, well, let me see. If I'm going to play for the minimum, where am I going to do that at? He comes here. He knew he'd have a starting role. He knew he'd be playing with 3 great people. Right. He knew he had a chance to challenge to win. So everything fit in place. He's betting on himself. Next year is going to probably be a big payday for him.
Okay.
And then the Mason Plumlee, the backup.
Right, yes.
Yeah, like I said, he's been phenomenal. A guy that's started over 500 games in his career. So right now he steps in the starting role. And also Iguodala is coming off the bench. Yeah. So last night, one guy has 8, the other guy has 7. So we haven't missed a beat in the rebounding with those 2 guys. And they just play hard, which is really fun to watch.
We've been talking a lot today about the Warrior game last night. And the big thing about that game is, forget Clay. I mean, that's interesting, but the Warriors won again. Is there anything in the West so far that has really surprised you, other than, I don't know, the Warriors 9-2 just stuns me?
Yeah, and the way they're doing it. I mean, Steve Kerr's playing 10 guys every night, and they're all playing 20 minutes, 25 minutes a game. No one's really dominating the minutes, although the Steph played a bunch last night. Obviously in those big games, he's going to step up. But surprisingly, as well as they're playing, the way Steve Kerr is coaching, you could go to Cleveland, in the Eastern Conference, being undefeated. OKC, their start now, it looks like they're going to have to battle now without Chet Holmgren. But the competitiveness is what's really fun to watch at this level now.
Yeah, and that's what makes a game like tonight so important, right? In the West, it's so tightly packed.
It sure is. Everybody always sits there and says, the NBA in November, December, January. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you play 82 games, and the other team plays 82 games. So that one game in November, December, January that you might lose to a team in your division, in your conference, now they've got the tiebreaker with you when it comes down to game 82.
We saw that last year.
Exactly.
The Kings in the play-in instead of the actual playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Last question for me, Tim. Is the West wide open, meaning everybody talks about OKC, but I'm going to throw OKC. I'm going to throw Denver. I'm going to throw you guys. I'm going to throw, Lakers if they get I feel like 6 teams could easily come out of the West.
I think so too. I think it, and that's going to be the thing. I don't think it's important where your seeding is this year. It could be that 6th seed, the 7th seed, if they're healthy and they're playing their best basketball at the end of the season. I think any one of those teams, as you mentioned,
Minnesota gets right.
They figure it out with Julius Randle. Yeah, I think it's there's a lot of moving parts to the Western Conference.
Yeah. We appreciate your time. Tim Kempton with us. Before we let you go, I wanted to ask you about something about Mason Plumlee. You've mentioned him a couple of times. And I know, like I said, you played in the NBA 8 years. You played overseas. So you're just a professional journeyman. So you know what it takes to stay as a pro for a long time. The whole story of him switching hands to shoot free throws, I've never seen anything like it. I'm just wondering what you made of that whole story.
That's funny you bring that up. So we're in L.A., and I hadn't gotten to sit down with Mason yet. And he happened to be on the bus. I got on the bus, and I was with my partner, John Bloom, and I looked at him, and I said, Mason, you've got to tell me about this, what you did. And he said, first of all, I'm just result-oriented now in my career. He goes, I don't care what it looks like.
Right.
But he said that summer that he did it, it was like, okay, what do I do? Do I take this right hand and unteach it all the bad habits and then reteach it bad habits? Or do I just go with this left hand that doesn't have any bad habits and start from scratch? And I was sitting there, my mouth was wide open. I'm going, this is fascinating. In the middle of his career, he went and if you watch him in his warm-ups, he'll shoot from 3 with it, and it looks good.
Really?
It's a very simple move. There's not a lot of moving parts to it. He gets very consistent. Now, last year he shot 71%. He's from the free throw line. He's down a bunch this year, but I think that'll come up with his attempts. But yeah, it was fascinating to me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, a guy, and like he said, he was on the bus. He goes, I don't care what it looks like. I'm just looking for results. And that totally flipped what he was doing because he was atrocious with his right hand.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, though, Rick Barry used to say people should shoot that way, but
he still talks about it. We
I know.
We just saw Rick in Phoenix at the Hall of Fame Golf Classic for Jerry Colangelo, and he's still talking about that. Why guys won't listen to
him. Right?
All right. Well, should be a good one tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Tim, for your time.
All right, Tim. Good seeing you, man.
Always good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. Tim Kempton from the Phoenix Suns taking on the Kings tonight, of course. Interesting how impressed the Suns were with the DeMar DeRozan show last week.
Yeah. They got a firsthand look at what DeMar is like, in the clutch. And it was phenomenal to see. 8 points in that first half, then took over in the fourth quarter and overtime. And then, like Tim said, he let De'Aaron, finish it out just for good measure. So I don't know how you stop DeMar if you're a Phoenix, because he mentioned it. They threw their best defenders at him. It didn't matter the other night.
Yeah, we'll probably see something different. I don't know what, but yeah, we'll see something a little different. Real quick, here's time for Whitey's wish list, Drapes. And it's been tough these days, because I keep talking about Trey Lyles. I keep talking about 3-point shooting. Yep. So it's like, where do we go? Number one, and please, as always, the best part of this is finding out what you think. Number one, come out strong. I want to see at least one first half run that forces Mike Budenholzer and the Sun, timeout.
Take an early timeout.
The place is just
okay. I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Strong.
Right. Get that good positive momentum going. I can see that. Knock down some early threes.
Yes.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Number two is share the ball. Let's see at least 26 assists tonight. Right?
Okay. I'm with you on that.
Last year they averaged 28.3 assists per game. That was 7th in the NBA. This year they're at 23.8. They're 25th.
Yeah. Again, here's the thing. You know what high assist numbers mean, Whitey?
It means you're making shots. You're sharing the ball.
You're sharing the ball. You're moving the ball. I'm with you on that as well.
Yeah. And I recognize you can have an efficient offense without a lot of assist numbers, but we know Kings basketball, when they're playing Kings basketball,
when they're playing the best, yes,
that number goes up. And then third, I'm not even going to say it, but we all know what it is. So, don't even need to go there.
Is it
the three ball?
All right. I wasn't sure.
Right? Everybody, it's one of the most.
Give me a number you want to see tonight. What's your wish for a number tonight?
I want to see him go 22 of 40. 22 of 40. Because we talked about it. It's coming.
So you want him light the Nets on fire, huh?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's got to even up a little bit.
I'm with you on that. I would love that, man. And can I give you a Drapes wish too?
Please.
Let's have an easy game in terms of fourth quarter, we start celebrating.
Right.
Like, I don't want a stressful overtime game where our guys got to make big plays and everything. Let's get a blowout win.
Yeah.
So these fans can celebrate early on this Wednesday night.
The chant started with 5:30 left?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we up by 17. De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and DeMar on the bench with their shoes off.
You want to bring the high flyer in?
Not really, but we can. He over there. I got to ask him about this jacket right here. High flyer, you got 3 minutes.
Can you fit all your wisdom into 3 minutes, high flyer?
What's up with you,
big
dog?
And you got a tough act to follow because Tim Kempton was amazing.
Oh, no doubt. Tim's my guy.
Yeah.
Me and Tim, we go way, way, way back. NBA and Europe.
Yeah.
Where you first question? Where you get this jacket from, bro? I like that.
You know what, man? My swag is so deep, man. My swag is so deep.
I ask a legit question, bro.
Hey, this here's a one-off special made joint.
Very nice.
Seriously. These are all your spots.
All my crews I play with.
Dang. Okay, that's
nice.
fire. That's fire.
Appreciate
Nice.
it.
Yeah. 22 of 40 tonight from 3. What do you think? That's my.
Oh my God. This is the biggest quandary I've had for this team in a long time. What the hell is going on with the three-point shooting?
That's a great question.
And it's everybody. It's not just one or two players. It's everybody. You mean to tell me the whole Sacramento Kings three-point shot selection is in the tank?
Yep.
That's right. It's got to bounce back, right? At some point, some of them got to start falling.
Fellas, I would love to say that, but think about this. We had, what 4 preseason games? 4 or 5?
5 preseason games.
We had 5 preseason games. We shot atrocious.
Yeah.
And now we're in, game 11? So we're, 16 of atrocious shooting. I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
Mike says you got to let them fly. You can't pass up any good shots. What do you think?
Ooh, you know what? At some point, you better know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Because I understand the game like this, Whitey. I'm old school. We would love to count by threes, but twos work too.
Twos work, yeah. As long as they go in.
3 is more than 2, but 2 is more than none.
And right. And let me tell you what they've been doing, okay? We all know that they want the 3, but they've been able to knock down twos at a very decent clip and utilize that free throw line, so that makes up for the 3.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Last couple of games, people were like, hello, free throw line. Hello. I mean, they just haven't been there.
You're right.
But for like the first 5-6 games, they had been Herculean from the free throw line.
Yeah. See, Drapes, we've been so positive all day, and Henry's coming in and I don't know, kind of tamping down expectations a little bit.
Guardedly optimistic.
Yeah.
No,
it'll be all right.
Hey, we still want to win this game now.
Yeah. No, we gonna win.
I mean, I call it the way I see it, but we still want to win this game. We was able to go up there and win. So being on our home floor, you would think, THINK, period. Think that it would be a little lighter. I'm not gonna say easy. Kings don't have easy games. Just a little bit lighter of a game when you're at home. You're sleeping in your own bed. You got your home crowd behind you. It should be a little lighter game. But our basketball team is different, Whitey, because and KD gets to see it up close. He goes on the road with the guys.
Yes, he does.
They ball when they're on the road. They ball out when they are on the road.
Yeah.
Usually basketball teams are, we can hold it down at our home arena, and when we go out on the road, man, something just happens that we just don't click. Man, the Kings play great basketball on the road, and they've done that for the last 3 years, where they were able to go out on the road and generate big time wins. This is in this building where we fold up.
Mm-hmm. Who's gonna carry the bench tonight? Who's gonna be the person coming off the bench without Malik? Who's gonna carry the day? Dougie McBuckets knocking out some threes.
Well, you know what?
Jordan McLaughlin.
Everybody, believe me, it's collectively. You're not going to be able to just find one guy that's going to come out and give you the same thing that Malik Monk give you. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I look at it like this: everybody on the roster has to give 10% extra to make up for Malik not being there.
High Flyer, thanks for stopping by. Yeah.
Appreciate it,
great
fellas.
show, man. Have a great call tonight, Drapes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you on Friday, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna call in sick or nothing. I'll be here, big fella. It's game night on Friday. I'll be here. You know that.
All right, stick around because we got the High Flyer and Scott Marsh, I believe, with game night next from the Golden One. Drive guys on Sacktown Sports.
2.3 points. Yes, had enough. Have you had enough?